lost everybody but one. But maybe people will come back. We're going to do a live here. It's just going to be a Saturday night general chat. And with that, let me go over to Discord. So what we've done, everybody but one. Oh, I gotta mute. I gotta mute. We're gonna do a live here. It's just gonna be a Saturday night general. I know, right? I do this every time. Chat. Okay. Now we're good. Okay. All right. So Milbillie, I was ready for one question. I only have one question ready, and I think the rest of it can be whatever we talk about. But I've been curious because I've never asked you, what got you started in this case?
Well, originally watching it on the news back when it happened in 2005.
So you saw it on the TV?
Every day. Every day it was on the news. My mom was watching it. She's the one actually got me into the case. Honestly.
Did you, I'm eating chocolate. You guys, you'll have to forgive me. It's Easter, right? So did you immediately feel he was innocent from the get-go?
No, well, because the way they portrayed it. I mean, with the press conference and everything, he really had no chance.
Yeah.
I mean, even to this day, people I talk to that don't know nothing about the case, haven't seen him making murder, automatically think he's guilty.
Well, how long has it been since you started? Let's see, 2005, and it's 2019. 14 years.
Yeah, well, pretty much when Making Murder 1 came out, that really grabbed my attention.
And that was after Christmas in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same time I got into it. And BB, you too, huh?
Yes, yes.
That's strange. I didn't even realize that we're all in it from like that time frame.
Like I just recently started doing videos about this. What, November, October?
Yeah, I started the Rubberducky channel in January. I think it was because, for me personally, being able to, spread the public awareness and stuff like you and I were doing, all of us are doing. I was getting tired of having to explain the same thing to a different person. So somebody would ask me a question, and I'd have to go into this typing scenario. And, you type the same thing over a couple times. Pretty soon you're like, well, there's got to be a better way. So the first thing I did is grab my phone. I personally didn't want my face on camera just for my own security and safety. I just don't feel comfortable. I mean, I and all BB, you and Milbillie, both, all of us live in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where I'm like, I don't think I want Manitowoc to see my face. So I'm going to show a duck. So Milbillie, what made you want to do videos? Did I lose you? Uh-oh. Milbillie's having sound issues. Or am I?
I don't know.
You can hear me.
I'm here.
Okay. So Milbillie, what made you want to start doing videos? I've stumped Milbillie.
Well, I started just investigating myself, reading all the reports, and a lot of things jumped out at me.
Well, offhand, you've got a picture of the Rav sitting here. What's your biggest, like, what do you think is the most obvious part to this case that a lot of people you think don't really catch? Something like that everybody should know about.
That's a tough question.
Yeah. Well, give it some time. I mean, I know you know a lot more history than the 2005 case.
Yes. Well, I actually went back from the day he got released from prison.
Okay. So, like, when he got released from prison was 2003, right?
Yep, September 11th.
So in 2003, it was from the Stanley prison, which is, well, I'm not even going to say that. I just know where it is. Okay, so he got released from the Stanley prison, and at first he wasn't suing for 36 million. He went before a panel to try to get the state of Wisconsin to give him some restitution back for the time he lost, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, he was set to get $400,000 just for.
Right. Maya is snoring if anybody hears that. Sorry. So what all has taken place that before 2005 that a lot of people don't know about that actually affects the case in 2005? Like, what are we missing that if we just focused from the point she went missing forward, we might be missing something important? What would be something that you have come across that makes the picture clearer?
The 2004 fire of Barb's Blazer.
Okay, so in 2004, Barb, who is
2004,
yeah,
Blazer is found burning in the Xander Road.
Okay, so Barb is Steve's sister, and her Blazer is found burning on Xander Road.
And after it's found burning, it's then reported stolen. 16 minutes after.
Who reports it stolen?
Barb does. The thing is, that whole 04 fire, Barb gets home at 5 o'clock. She gets dropped off by Tamianda, and he leaves.
Okay.
Barb then goes to use the Blazer about 5:15, notices it's gone. But then she notices Steven's Cadillac's gone too. So she waits for Steven to get home. Steven gets home with Jody around 6 o'clock. Okay, this is the thing. There's only 2 sets of keys for this car. Barb has one, and Steven has the other.
Okay, so why does Steven have Barb's keys?
They used it. Him and her were the primary users of the vehicle.
Okay.
And he actually used that vehicle 2 days prior to it being. He was the last person in home to drive the vehicle.
But he's already in a different vehicle, obviously, because his vehicle is gone, right?
Mm-hmm. And he gets home at 6 o'clock with Jody after Barb already notices the car's gone.
Okay. So does she report it missing? Does Barb?
Yes, at 9:46 p.m. it's reported stolen.
When is this fire?
The fire is reported at 9:30.
So the fire actually happens before she reports the vehicle missing.
Correct.
That's strange.
And the police, well, Barb goes over to Stevens and calls the police from his house.
What now?
Barb actually goes over to Stevens and talks to him before calling the police.
Oh, it's like, hey, you don't have the, but he's, okay, so he's gone and then he comes home and she talks to him. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But
Yep.
she doesn't report it stolen until 3 hours later.
Why does she wait?
It's reported on fire.
I wonder why she waits.
I don't know. She claims that she wanted to get in contact with everybody that had access to the vehicle before she reported it stolen.
So this would be a year before Teresa Halbach goes missing. So let's recap this real quick before we go further. So the year prior, like September 04, which is a year and a month before Teresa Halbach goes missing, they have a vehicle, a Blazer, which is interesting because we have a Blazer in the case. That's what Brendan's talking about. So we have a Blazer go missing It's reported stolen, but it's already been burning. Now, who finds it burning?
Kim Kopachnik.
Now, does she play anything in 2005 at all?
No.
Okay, so she
was-
just is the
Driving down 9 p.m., she drives past a two-door blue or black vehicle that's parked on the northbound lane right off of Stengel. She drives past it, goes, drops her babysitter off. And on her return trip, the car that she spotted is gone, and now there's a vehicle in the field completely engulfed in flames.
Oh, we have a lot of people here
She
too.
doesn't realize it's her car.
Mm-hmm. No. The fire department and Manitowoc Sheriff's Department are dispatched to the scene, and while they're on scene, a phone call from Barbianda comes in reporting the blaze is stolen.
Wow. Okay, let's take a minute. I want to look at the chat window. There's a message from Daisy Lady to you, Milbillie. And she says, just personally wanted to thank Milbillie for his brief yet extremely powerful videos. Bravo. Very, very good. And then Kevin's like us. He said he seen it on the news and thought he went back in prison and didn't give it much thought until Ma'am 1. So yeah, good thing for the Ma'am 1 girls and 2.
Yeah, if it wasn't for making a murderer, Zeldin wouldn't be in none of this. He'd still be right where he is. He was trying to fight this himself.
Right.
Yeah, he'd have no hope.
Even Zeldin didn't want to take the case initially.
Jim and Joe says, I never knew about the case until I watched Ma'am on Netflix. Lady J, thank you. She says she loves the channel. Keep up great work. And they're talking about the color of the RAV. Tony wrote, what was the actual color of Teresa's RAV4? Was it dark green, green/blue, or blue?
Well, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? Yeah. I think that's the frustrating part about this case.
Person to change the color of the vehicle is Bobby Dassey. When he's interviewed on November 6th, when he's going to pick up his puppy.
Well, and when Pam finds the vehicle, Pam Sturm.
Pam even questioned the color too.
Big time. She was really hung up on it.
She didn't commit to the color. She said it's bluish green or whatever.
Well, not only that, but then when she goes and does her written report, she leaves the color completely out as if it wasn't even a thing. And yet her entire time that she's on that call to dispatch, she's going on and on about could they verify the VIN number because of the fact that the color wasn't what she was expecting. She keeps saying, but it's bluish green.
Yeah, but even Brendan says it's green.
Yeah, and the mother, think about this. One other of the, we have a lot of supporters, and one of them is Big Jeff, and he has a very valid point. And what it is to me is the mother. Everybody knows the color of their child's vehicle. As a mother, as soon as your kid get them keys, you're like, oh, Lord. And so the color of that vehicle. Plus, Teresa lives across the street from, or real near her mother's. I'm sure she's driven her vehicle over to her mother's. And in doing that, you'd think the mother would know. And she reported it. Karen Halbach reported it as dark green.
Even Manitowoc Summer Report has it listed dark green. And they have it listed in custody on November 3rd.
Indeed. I'm fixing to pull up a couple pictures of what you're getting a little taste, you guys, of Ma'am, the mini Ma'am we're doing. And I'm just going to pull up one of the storyboards to share with you guys. I'm letting it load here for a minute. I want to show you what we're talking about. So this is here. So you can see here, these are 3 pictures And we've got one where the vehicle appears dark green. Now, what I did is I took the eyedropper off of the little color pad, and I took a drink of the color of Maya. Gretchen. Oh, boy. Girl, live chat time. Dogs love it. Okay, I won't talk about the Rev anymore. Okay. Sorry, guys. I got it, Clinton, but thank you. He came in with the organic vinegar to spray him. I'm like, I got it. I swear, if I do a live chat about this case, my dogs act naughty. Okay. They don't actually hurt each other. They don't bite or anything. They just sound terrible. So, okay, back to the case. So I took the little eyedropper and I picked up each color, and then I made the words that color. And you can literally see how it's changing. And so they say it's Mystic Teal. Now, what I did is I went and pulled this thing up. This is right from the factory. So this is Toyota, and this is their color galleries. And if you look right here, where I've got my little cursor, this is called Deep Jewel Green Pearl. And then the next color is this, which is Mystic Teal Mica. And then way down here is Royal Sapphire Pearl. Now, the thing is this Mystic Teal Mica, it does change a little bit. It goes from bluish green to greenish blue, but it does not change to this sapphire color. This Royal Sapphire Purple. And when you look back at these vehicles, look what you get. You get this royal color. It just, something's not right to me. What do you think?
Until I have proof, I get it. Like, how do they know they verified the VIN?
Yeah.
If Zoner's never seen the car,
why won't they give it back or give it to them? You don't think they had it?
The fact that they removed all the seats, and on that document for page 1117, they have cutouts of the fabric from the seats
and the carpet too.
You know, normally in a normal case, I would say you were crazy as a $3 bill, but unfortunately, in this case, we're very aware that the state of Wisconsin has violated the law and already just handed off the bones. So, you know, bad faith. Do they really have it? I don't know. I don't know. So let's go back to this 2004. You were talking about this Blazer of Barb's that Steve drives a lot. He's not home, but he's actually got an alibi. He's picking up Jody. They're coming home. Barb waits, talks to Steven, and the vehicle's been spotted by someone. It's on fire. It's about a 3-hour window where all of a sudden now Barb's reporting it missing. Oh, Jam and Joe wants a shout out. He says, Stephen and Brendan were railroaded big time. I hope that Kathleen Zellner becomes Kratz and the rest of the corrupt police department's worst nightmare. I think she is, yeah. Jam and Joe. Amen. Amen. That's amazing. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Zellner's sending a wave through them. I mean, what are they doing? Why are they thinking that, they can get away with it in the long run? In the long run, Zellner's not going to give up. She's made that clear. She's already got them to the wall.
And the fact that she's doing this pro bono.
Yeah. Hats off. Armchair sleuth little hat, that little beanie thing with the monocle. Let's take our hats off to her, right? Thank you, Jam and Joe. That was very kind of you. Well, Milbillie, if this car is sitting down there on fire, and this is the Blazer that Steven would have driven around, it really kind of as you're talking about it, what comes to my mind is, why would somebody have stole this vehicle and burned it in the first place? What's the point?
That's what I'm saying. People say it was for insurance, but Barb had a Porsche too. It'd make more sense to destroy that vehicle than a
Yeah.
1991 Blazer.
So
Maybe she couldn't start with the Porsche.
And she had just put brand new tires on it too.
on the Porsche or
And-
on the Blazer?
No, on the Blazer. Okay. She states that it's a completely good and running vehicle. And the only people that drive it, supposedly, are Steven, Barb, and Brian Dassey claims he may have driven it twice in the last 6 months. But Bobby Dassey's statement clearly states that he knows exactly what's wrong with the vehicle that he never drives.
Right.
And from his statements, he's always going hunting.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
On that day, he gets off of school, gets home about 3:30, and goes over to Mike Osmondson's house to go goose hunting.
Okay. Now,
Brian
let me
Dassey
ask
gets
you.
home. Brian Dassey gets home at 4:30.
Okay.
No, Brian Dassey, Barb Yonda, and Tom Yonda all work at the same place together.
Okay, repeat that now. Let me go over that again so I get it in my head. So, Bobby and Barb and Tom Yonda, because we don't have a Scott Tadich at this point. We're back in 2004. Correct? Okay. So Barb is with this husband named Tom Yonda, who is Scott Tadich's cousin, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So they all work at the same place. And at that time, do they all work on a day shift?
They all work the same shift.
Okay.
Bobby was at school. Brian, Tom, and Barb were at work. Brendan and Blaine were at school. Steven was at work at the yard. Jody was at home.
Yeah.
So Bobby Dassey is the first one to get home.
Okay.
At 3:30. He then leaves and goes to Mike's to go goose hunting. At 4:30, Brian Dassey gets home. And he says he does the brakes on his car, and then he goes to his girlfriend, Jill's house. The police talked to Jill, verified that happened. He did go to his girlfriend's house. Steven was with Jody. They talked to Jody, verified that was true.
Okay.
Tom Yonda dropped Barbara off and left. When she goes to use the Blazer at about 5:15 and 5:30, she notices it's gone. She thinks Steven has it, but then she realizes Steven's Cadillac's gone too.
Okay.
He gets home at 6 o'clock. She asks him, "Where's the Blazer?" He said, "I don't know." Well, if they're the only two people that have keys, all they had to do is, "Do you have your key? Because I have mine." He could have called the cops right then, but they don't. She doesn't call the police until 16 minutes after the car is reported on fire.
Okay.
They verify everybody's alibi but Bobby Dassey.
Again. And in the 2005 case, Zellner has made it quite clear that not only was Scott Tadich not in Green Bay, he was actually at Bobby Dassey's home, which Barb, who he was seeing, would have been at work. So again, we have, if Scott Tadich's ally is out the window, guess where Bobby Dassey's alibi is for 2005? Gone. So now that makes two events where Bobby has no alibi. He doesn't have an alibi for the event you're talking about, which is in the 2004 burning of the Barb's Blazer.
Well, they never checked into it.
Right.
Their whole investigation in this 04 fire looking at Steven as the suspect.
And it's interesting because, what other events would tie this 2004 Blazer burning to the 2005 event would, I guess for me personally, is to check and see, do we have missing girls or something that this Blazer evidence would have been being gotten rid of or something. You know what I'm saying? It just seems strange.
Well, it's obvious whoever started this fire on this Blazer was trying to implicate Steven as the culprit.
Like a test.
That's my opinion.
Are you like maybe a test run is what you're suggesting, like, to try to get your ducks in a row, kind of walk through it a little bit.
I think ever since that thing with
Hi, baby.
Sandra, that they have taken runs at him nonstop, everyone.
Okay, so Sandra. Oh, since Sandra, the other girls that go see him in prison now, you think they're setups?
Who walks him out? Who helped walk him out of prison?
Jody.
Carla.
Oh, you mean like walk him out the gates, like from the get-go?
Right.
Yeah.
Marie Avery.
That's Marie Avery, huh?
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was his daughter.
And in 04, that's when Steven, and a month after this laser fire, Candy calls the police on Steven because he's hanging out with Marie a little bit.
Okay, let's back up a minute. Let's back up a minute. So, Steven's brother's name is Earl, and his other brother is Chuck. And Candy Avery is who now? That it would be Earl's wife at the time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so her daughter would be Marie Avery. So it'd be stepdaughter. Okay, so it's Earl's real daughter. Candy Avery is the stepmother of Marie Avery.
That's not even Earl's daughter. That's his stepdaughter.
His stepdaughter. It's Candy's daughter.
He adopted her.
Okay. All right. So why is she the one walking him out of prison? What would there be for a connection there? Well, we know there's a rumor, unless you have something. I don't personally have anything, but there's a rumor that that Marie Avery and Steven were kind of like.
It came right out of her mouth. It's not a rumor. It came out of Marie's mouth when she was interviewed by Wendy Baldwin.
And she states.
Right.
And she states in that interview that Mike Osmondson hates Steven Avery.
Wow. Now, Mike Osmondson's the one that Bobby on the trial when he was on the stand said that, how did that go? That Steven asked for help hiding a body or something?
Yeah.
But that couldn't happen the way it was said, right?
No. Wells may have happened, but it didn't happen on the day he said it happened.
Okay.
There's no way in hell it could have.
So he says it happened on what day?
November 10th. Steven's arrested November 9th. And he claims this happened in the Dassey garage.
Well, if it would have happened on the day that Mike is claiming, then it wouldn't have been with Steven at all. So then who's he joking around with about hiding a body? Is it Bobby, him, and who? Possibly like what? Scott Tadich or something? I mean,
he claims to not be on that property between the 31st and the 10th. The only time he claims to be on that property is the 10th, and there's no way he could have. The whole place is a crime scene all the way to the 14th.
Right. And isn't it strange that Mike isn't even like ever brought up in the trial? Or even on MAM 1 or 2, is he?
No.
So unless somebody's done research outside of the documentary, they have no idea that Bobby Dassey, the star witness on the actual trial, but also a very, very serious suspect for Zellner. His best friend that he's hanging out with all the time is Mike Osmondson. How do I say it? Osmondson?
Osmondson. And where do they find Bobby Dassey when they interview him? At Mike Osmondson's house.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to head over to the chat for a minute. I'm going to try to back it up because it's moving pretty quick here. Let's see. Jeff says just to
go back to some room and this would color he's right.
Yeah. Jeff makes a couple comments here. Just imagine that your son, father, or brother is sitting in prison, wrongfully accused or incarcerated. Wouldn't you want his attorney to be able to just look at the car to gather evidence? They won't even let KZ look at it. If this were on the up and up, wouldn't you think they would just at least let her look at it? Yes. Yeah.
They won't even let her have the blinker light.
No,
Now, Jeff asked Milbillie, did Dean or Jerry lay eyes on the RAV?
no, they say they have pictures. They seen pictures of it. From
Right,
what I heard.
right.
I actually messaged him on Twitter and he never responded to me. So,
Well, now Lily did message him, and he stated that he did look at it, but he can't remember because he said him and Dean didn't get in, or Jerry didn't get into the case till 6 months after the actual crime, and that he couldn't remember. So what we were asking him if there was damage to the RAV on the passenger side.
mhm.
So basically, nobody's even ever seen the RAV.
It's like they towed it away and it went away.
And the fact that they ship the seats and stuff to the FBI, they don't ship the whole damn car.
Yeah. There's a lot of damage to the RAV. A lot. I did make a little list for us, and I thought you could help me with it, and we can kind of work on it together a little bit. So I made a list of RAV4 damage because Ryan lies. He states that the damage occurred and that Teresa phoned it into and reported it, that she collected the insurance money and didn't repair the damage to the RAV. And Zellner says she talked to the insurance company, and that is untrue. So here's some of the things I thought were interesting. We can kind of talk about them. I think it's interesting. There's a can of Fix-A-Flat or whatever the name brand is, I don't know, that's under the passenger seat. I think it's interesting that the parking light has been removed. Obviously, it's shattered on the front. Where that happened, you can see that that's cracked, so there's the damage. There's scratches on the back rear door on the left side handle. Bolts are missing from the back seat. The floor mat is missing out of the cargo area. The wheel well shells or whatever. I don't know, what are those called, Milbillie? Those things up under the, I don't know what they're called.
Inner fender well lining.
Yeah, I can't even, that sounds like a tongue twister. Inner fender, well lining. Those seem like they're missing. Screws are missing out of the dashboard. Now, that bothers me big time because I've had electrical issues with my car and they've had to get into the dashboard. But what bothers me about it is that we have a verification of the vehicle being a keyless entry at some point in the investigation by investigators. And it's interesting because if she would have had, if she has the electric, or what do you call that for the start? When somebody can push a button and start your car?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if she has a remote start or something like that, that's a computer chipped key. Then we're not talking about just a normal cut key. However, there are some companies, and it'd be worth checking into Toyota a little bit more. Now, BB's done a little research on this, but on those, they store a key inside the steering column.
No. Remember, that's the trick. You hide the old key in the steering column, and then you can use a new cut key
that doesn't have anybody's DNA on it. Okay, that's right. Yeah. That's right. So if the killers had the real key, and the cops found the real key and they did not want the real key submitted for evidence, maybe it had the mixed DNA should be on the key of the real killer, they could technically hide the real key inside the steering column. And then any key,
the lock cylinder, new box with the lock cylinder and 2 new keys with it, and the new key will start the car without being programmed because the program key is still in there.
So that way they could have hid that key. So it makes me wonder why they've got all the missing pieces of the dash and, all the bolts out of the dash. it made me wonder if they had the real killer key, they couldn't use it because it wouldn't have pointed to Steve Avery, their target. So they would, in bad faith, they would hide the key in the steering column. That way, when they get their new valet key that looks like it's hardly had any use, and if this girl is driving for 2 years around, or even since the summer, it wouldn't have looked new. And then the other one is the side rear compartment covers are missing. And that's just on the interior. Well, no, some of it's on the exterior too. I mean, this car does not look like it's new as some of, like new that some of these people have reported.
Did somebody say she kept that car really nice because she liked it?
That's why I don't understand why there's broken panels in the back of the RAV and there's missing screw covers on the rear door.
Right.
Those don't fall off. They have to be pried off. You need those screwdrivers.
And then
or chisel, flathead, whatever.
Jeff also talks about what is a wasp nest thing that is up under that tire too. Let's see if I can't find a picture in the library somewhere real quick of that. Let's look at that. Because, yeah, what is that? Oh, yeah, because I'm on a live. It's going to be really slow. Okay, we'll go to physical, vehicle, RAV. That would be exterior, wouldn't it? Exterior photos. Here we go. Let's see if we can't find. I'll try to make it bigger so we can see. I just got to find the one. There's so many.
It's the one in the lab.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the pictures to download. The computer's like, you're making me do 100 things at once.
It's Saturday.
Yeah. You've been working me so hard. Okay, here we go. It might take a minute. Right now, it's just a big black screen. Maybe it won't let me do all this because I'm on Discord and YouTube, and now I'm trying to use the OneDrive. Let me try.
Unlimited computer. Let's push all the buttons.
Well, I could do this. Maybe.
Even if that is fix a flat. Why would you bother putting fix a flat in a tire if you're just going to drive it into the yard and dump the car?
I don't know. I don't even know how to get to my own. I'm trying
why
to.
They have everything propped up on the car.
Look how much. I mean, I'm looking at your desktop. Oh, I can't do all that while I'm doing that. Let me go back to Discord here. I'm looking at the picture you have up. And
every day.
They're covering the tires. Do you see that?
Yeah. You can't see the rims. Why?
Because rims are very hard to replace and match. Like many times in my life I've had something happen to one of my rims and I'm like, "Oh, I'll just go get one." Nah, you can't. Rims are almost like one of the most difficult things. There's so many varieties to the rims. And yet that's all you see covered right here is the tires.
Yep.
And what is that box? That always bothers me. You know, it's wrapped in duct tape, which makes it a little bit more waterproof almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
more suspicious.
Much more suspicious. I mean, if we're planting bones, like if I'm a planter and I'm gonna plant bones, why wouldn't I burn that box? What could be in the box? It can't be it's like a package waiting for them when they find the RAV. That's what in my mind it is. in my armchair sleuth mind, I'm like, that box is nefarious. What's in that box? Maya, quit snoring. Everybody on live knows you snore.
I think they put all the stuff against the car to make it easier for Pam to find it.
Well, yeah, and then they don't cover. Let me see if I can get back to my own desktop here. How do I get to that? Right there. Okay, let me pull up here. How do I get to that one? I think I can go. I don't even know. I'll just go back to Milbillie's. Milbillie, do you have a picture of the RAV on your computer? I know you do most of your work on your phone, but would you have one where we've got that wasp nest or grayish wad or mud or whatever that is up in that well to look at a little better? I would just like us to all kind of get a chance to look at that, or even send it from your phone to the computer. Perfect. I'll read some of the, yeah, Daisy Lady, is that a canvas bag on the hood? It actually is a cardboard box that has duct tape all over it. Yeah, like Tony says, it is a staged crime scene. They're like, here's where we're going to put the RAV. Maybe because it is staged and you see all these screws missing all over, maybe they put the screws in the cardboard box, and then with the rain or whatever, my thought or curiosity would be, would they duct tape the heck out of that box? Because they're, Manitowoc has an obsession with duct tape. Might as well be, Manitowoc Chrome, Let's see what else. When looking, think foam. What do you mean, Zig? Ziggy says think foam. Do I need to back up a little bit?
I think he's talking about the last nest thing.
Oh. Think foam.
From the Fix the Flat, he said earlier.
Yeah.
Like it sprayed out the hole when they put the foam in the
Well, I think one of the biggest things about the RAV that has always bothered me is if this is somebody that's trying to hide the RAV, which obviously they're not, you get the giant tire cover that says RAV4 right on it, still left out, and it's parked nose in so that the hiney is sticking out with the big giant look at my RAV4 stamp, So obviously this is staged. It's just absolutely staged. And then we have the blood inside of it. I don't think was there when this RAV was found. I really don't think there was any blood in the RAV at all when it was found. Oh, and Robert states what Wisconsin didn't realize was Ma'am was going to be a Netflix series and the whole world would see how corrupt they are.
Oh, yeah, there was no way back in 2005 they could have known.
True.
True. That Netflix even existed or was going to exist in the future. We were still back in MySpace then.
Well, think about it. It's like, they
didn't even know Facebook was going to happen.
Yeah. And I mean, we were talking about it before we started the live. We were talking about how, can you imagine if we had this technology like we do now to do these live chats on Discord and all this back in 2016 when Ma'am finished and we all had the ability and we started learning this case. I think there's just no way to predict the future, how advanced it's going to become.
Daisy Lady says one possibility is that the radio in the RAV number 2 was only a cassette deck and did not have a CD. All of his friends would have known he had a CD player as well.
Yeah.
So they had to take out the dash to replace it with a stereo.
So you guys, what if, I know we've had a lot of talks about the colors of the RAV. Let me just ask this. So I think I think the whole world is looking at this picture going, this is staged. None of this is right. And in that, um, the family starts talking about in the very beginning about the vehicle being dark green. And then it changes as we go forward. Very quickly, it maneuvers like this whole rainbow. And by the time it gets to the lab, no matter how we look at it, it's blue. So, what my question would be is, did Teresa actually have a completely different RAV that they've never found? And Milbillie, you started this whole thing off with us getting kind of a historical lesson about 2004, where we have Barb's blazer burned. Is it possible that Teresa's Hallbox vehicle was never found and that left the cops empty-handed?
Or they found it and just didn't report it.
Right.
Because they're notorious for not reporting things. You got Colborne not reporting the phone call he got from Brown County about Gregory Allen being the one that might have did it and they have the wrong person in custody. He files that report the day after Steven Avery's released from prison.
Okay, filed which? I'm sorry, I was reading chat. So he filed what after the day after prison?
The report about him receiving a phone call from Brown County about Gregory Allen being in custody, saying that he's responsible, they have the wrong person in custody.
Yeah.
He doesn't file a report of that phone call the day after Steven Avery's released from prison.
Right.
12.
And then nobody knows about it till the innocent.
Then you got Colburn doesn't file his report about talking to Steven Avery on October 3rd or November 3rd until well after the fact.
Right. And then,
purposely not filing things.
Yeah. Well, and Jeff makes a good point. They told Mike Halbach, he did a press release that when the RAV was found, the family was happy to hear nothing in it pointed to foul play. In fact, he said, noted no harm was his words. And then I just want to say, I think this RAV is absolutely set up from the get-go. And if it was set up from the get-go, then that would explain why there's no prints from the victim in this vehicle that show like she drove it. I mean, when you are traveling all the time in your car, we all know how our cars get. Never judge my car by how clean my house is. Let me tell you, there's going to be backpacks, there's going to be clothing, there's going to be all kinds of stuff in this car. And yet no fingerprints of hers, no DNA of hers. If they're really wanting to lock in on someone's DNA, swab the steering wheel. My golly. And I know you can't because of scientifically, you'd get everybody's DNA that touched it. But there's got to be something in that car besides a can of cherry soda that they could have got DNA from. Just, it frustrates me that that's what they locked into is a 2-year-old pap smear. And BB, let's talk about, and I know Milbillie, this isn't going to be your specialty here, but I wanted BB to have a chance to bring this up about what your niece said about how long they keep a pap smear.
Oh, okay. And my niece is a lab tech at a hospital in the northern part of Wisconsin and in a city half the size of Green Bay. And she says, first of all, after 10 days, they're not allowed to keep somebody's name on a pap smear. They have to, because by then everything's cultured on it, and they have to renew the name and keep it generically. And they can only use it if they wanted to had some weird cells on it or whatever that's abnormal to make a picture for a textbook or whatever, along that line.
So how sterile, I follow you there. So obviously it's not something that would have normally been available. But my question would be is how sterile is a pap smear collected?
They're not. See, when you collect a swab or whatever to make a DNA sample, it's all done sterilely and it's in a sterile lab and it's sealed in between two pieces of glass or whatever on the slide. it's not like a pap smear. A pap smear, she does them all in one day. They'll have like, 3, 4, whatever they have a day. She'll do them all on her desk. They'll all be sitting on her desk until they air dry. Once they air dry, they put them away. They keep them for 10 days. And then they take it and they write up a report on it and they throw it in the sharps container. And that's the end of it.
Wow. Just a shout out for Jam and Joe. His question is for Rubberducky. Kathleen Zellner is debunking this whole thing. At this point, what is holding her up from putting the whole thing to rest? I know the courts have had a lot to do with that. Well, yeah, absolutely. I am really in a strong belief that Zellner has cracked the case. And in that, I think the complication is it isn't going to do her a bit of good right now. She could walk the killer right up to the front door and be like, this is a killer, but she doesn't even get a chance to prove it. What she has to do is she's got to get her foot in court, because what's holding us up is we're now on a legal means of paperwork. So it has to be a paperwork fight to get these boys home. We can't get a hearing. We have not had a hearing yet. And that is what this whole big beef is that Steven Avery's constitutional right to a fair hearing is, it's got to be approved. We haven't even in the past been given why we can't have a hearing. Even like if you look at his case back in 2005, when he was fighting the 1985 wrongful conviction, he had a hearing. He was able to get a DNA hearing. They were able to approve DNA testing. They found the scrapings from Penny Bernstein's fingernails still there. And it proved that it did not belong to Steven Avery, that it was a third party's DNA. And at that time, the judge said, well, she could have scraped somebody along the way, could have been an EMT responding. It's just not strong enough. And so then he got another hearing when we found the new DNA testing ability on the hair. So he was having hearings back then, not in this case, not in the 2005 one. So Steven Avery has not had a hearing. And so that's basically kept him mute. The only way Steven Avery has a voice is what we hear on Kathleen through Twitter. And that's the truth, because the courts aren't letting him talk. And the fact that the state of Wisconsin themselves are breaking the law and knowingly doing so, which is bad faith, and that's why you have the Youngblood versus Arizona and so forth, is that it points to the state who has been the one saying, no, you can't have a hearing. In the county, the circuit court is saying, nope. And they're not given a reason why they're not letting Steven talk. And the rules of the game are that in general, if you're sitting there in prison and new evidence comes up that was suppressed, in other words, there was no way you knew about it, so you couldn't have used it to save your butt, you now get a hearing and you're able to show that to the courts, and then they reconsider it based on the new evidence. So if the evidence wasn't available to the jury, they could not have deliberated decently because they were missing pieces to the story. And so Zellner is trying to bring up everything she can. Her big claim is saying, hey, Steven's human rights are being very purposely denied. And she's saying that here's this way, and here's this way, and here's this statute. Here's another, 97.06. Here's a 974.06. And the state, they just keep jumping out of turn going, oh, you're bringing up all these different things. And she's saying, no, I'm bringing up one. And that Steven's rights are being totally, totally squashed. So I hope that answers the question. And thank you so much for the support. And thanks, Ziggy, for putting that in the room too. But back to this conversation on this part. When we're looking at the RAV, let's say this is a stage setup. We know that there was another point. Now, Milbillie, I'm going to take it back onto Discord. You had shown me how you can do the map thing. Can you show us how you do that and kind of show us around where the RAV was sitting on a newer map, maybe what was that called? I think I lost Milbillie. There he is. Yeah, show us, like, that was really interesting. So you guys, on the screen here, what Milbillie's going to do is he's going to walk us through. He knows a lot more on how to work this than I do. And he's going to take us on like a visual that'll allow us to go through some of the properties and some of the highways that are in this case. So some of the roads would be, obviously, Cuss Road is a big deal because we know that there was some major activity that took place there. We have DCI there. We've got Calumet County there with the EMTs. We've got like 5 black cars, which we did have the FBI investigating this case as well at the time. So a lot of times when you hear people say, why isn't the FBI involved? They did. They were involved in the actual recovery of some of the, looking for the evidence as well. But Milbillie, can you show us on that? What was that called?
He's in chat and he says, I can't hear you.
Oh, he can't hear me? Can anybody hear me? Or did I cut out or something? Maybe I cut out. You can hear me,
Maybe
right?
we're just talking to ourselves.
Yeah. Maybe it cut out or something. We'll find out. I didn't mute anything because you can hear me. Okay, everybody hears me. Milbillie, come back. Milbillie.
I'm here.
There you are. Can you show us that mapping? I'll go back to desktop. Can you show them the mapping that you do where you go on that Google thing you do and show us around? Like, I'd love to see the Redant property, Jambo Creek, Cuss Road, Avery Road, all the roads involved. We'll let Milbillie work on that, and I'll go back to chat. And he can work on the details there. Good. Everybody can hear us. Good. It's lagging. Robot talk. I'm sorry, Milbillie. Haha. James says he can hear us in the Philippines. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a ways away. I'm going to scroll back up. Does anybody, while I'm kind of reading the chat here, let's see, James Barlow, I'm going to read backwards. James Barlow, the way the RAV4 is camouflaged is so fundamentally stupid, it's incomprehensible. I know. It's like a neon sign.
I think it's the neon sign so Pam could find it easier.
I've always kind of wondered, BB. Scott Blodorn is Teresa's roommate. He's the one that hands Pam at the search party. And mind you, all the other search party members have left. She's an hour late. And at that time, he hands her a camera. Do you think it's possible? I mean, why not? Everything else is so jammed up in this case that possibly they had been the ones to know where the RAV was, taking pictures with that camera. And it's basically the map is following the pictures on the camera.
Okay, Mellie's got a picture pulled up now.
Oh, good. I'll go back. All right, guys, here we go. Oh, yes. Okay, here we go, you guys. So, Milbillie, explain where we are right now. Is this 43?
This is a twin.
Okay.
So there's a car parked here because it's reported the first, the second, the third, and the fourth.
So we're right where the RAV was found. Can you take it closer to where the RAV was found? So you guys, we'd be driving down the highway, what Milbillie's saying. And is it on the right, Milbillie, that little like clearing area?
Right side.
Okay, you guys, look on your right, like you're driving to work. This is where the gentleman that went into the convenience store reported he saw the RAV. Okay, right, Milbillie? Oh, you turned. Whoa. You turned. Okay, so am I turning onto the right? Ooh, we're passing a car.
Several people reported that it was at the turnaround, didn't they?
Mhm.
Well, on the first, we have Jill Rain, who reports a suspicious vehicle, but
This
that's
is
all
right
she
across the street.
says. What's that?
This is right across the street.
She lives across the
Right.
street?
Right there. You see her house?
Are you joking? How timing
Nope.
is that? Okay, so this lady's house right here, she's the one that said there was I can hardly say the word, suspicious vehicle. And so that's that day. And then Kevin Ramlow's the other one that says that he went to the convenience store and he talked to an officer there and reported that the missing poster that had the picture of the Rav in it, he had seen that vehicle right here. Turns out later when he was watching Ma'am 2, was it, that he realized that the guy he had been talking to was none other than Colburn.
Yeah. And you got Robert Fabian. Each states that he's seen a vehicle parked there on November 4th at 8 a.m. while he was going to pick up a dog.
Okay. And then how about Ernie or Irvin Koning? He goes on TV. He goes on, what was it? I don't want to quote the TV station, the name of it, because I can't remember which one it was. So I don't want to call out the one that I know because I could be wrong. But he went on television and he stated he'd seen this vehicle too. So most likely we have the RAV4 here at this location. Now, can you show us from this location, Milbillie? Can you drive us for lack of better words, drive us to where Scott Tadich lives from there, or where he did at the time in that little trailer or whatever? I can see your cursor. I really, oh, look at that. That's the East Twin River.
Here's somebody, Robert, he says, Richard Boyd traced the RAV4 between 2005 through 2018, and it made its way around the state and 2 trips out of the country.
What? That's crazy. Well, who
You
knows?
remember what I told you the other day about Richard Boyd?
Yeah.
Carfax it, and it came up.
Who knows? Maybe it did. Maybe it did. I mean, they're wanting rid of it. I would have thought the state would have just crushed it if they wanted rid of it. Just make it go away. So are we close to where, okay, so that's the overview, what we're looking at, correct? Where her vehicle was, Milbillie? Okay, so from this location, can you do that top view and kind of like guide us to see where Scott Tadich would have had his trailer? I'm going to peek it live for just a minute to see if we got anything that we need to. Is it showing? Does it show them? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so they're being able to see what Milbillie's doing too. Oh, I missed a lot of chat. Holy cow, it's flying in there. Colburn knew where it was. Yeah, Ginny, the gentleman named Kevin Ramlow went to the convenience store and told the officer exactly where the vehicle was because he had passed it a couple days. Later, when that same gentleman, Kevin, was watching TV, what was that, Milbillie?
You've seen it on the 3rd and the 4th.
3rd and the 4th. So he tells the cop and reports it's there, and also contacts Scott Tadich and tells him to call him that he has information. Scott never does call him, says he's sick or something. And Colburn turns around, and then, I shouldn't say then, but we also have that weird call from Colburn where he's calling in plates and he names it as a 99 RAV4. Now, what's important about that is I've done my research, and this vehicle was made with the same body style for 6 years. So let me go over to this screen real quick. Let me see here.
Oh, maybe you could talk about this for a moment. Kevin says, I heard George made a phone call saying he thought he just shot someone. Anyone ever hears this?
That George Zipper shot someone?
I think he's talking about the call where they get hold of the zipper and he says, no, she wasn't here. And if she was, I would have shot her or fed her to my dogs. Remember?
I had not heard that. So that would be news to me. I did hear what BB's talking about, where he did threaten that if anybody came back on his property, he would feed them to his dogs or let his dogs eat them from the feet first. And also what BB's saying too. But okay. So what I was saying on the RAV is Colburn should not have been able to name the year. Neither should Pam. Now, Pam Sturm calls this dispatch when she finds RAV and they ask her, does it look new? And she says, yeah, it looks like a 1999 or a 2000. And then Colburn calls it in and he calls it in on that phone call and says a 1999 RAV4. Now, the problem with that is what I was going to show you guys. It's in, again, you're getting sneak peeks here of what some of the boards are from Minimam, which it's huge. But here we go. If you look where my cursor is over here on production, this came straight from Toyota. The first generation, which is what she had, Teresa had, it says production, and it tells you the years. So from 1994 to 2000, the RAV4, the top one here, was made for 6 years with the exact same body mold. Press dropped off the same body mold for every single one of those. So if you just looked at that RAV visually, you could not be able to tell if it was a 2008, a 2009, a 2006, or I'm sorry, a 1996, a 1998, a 1999, none of that. You would not know. So my question would be, Milbillie, you pointed out that if I open the door of the vehicle, then there's something there, isn't there? Is there something that tells me like about the vehicle inside the door?
Yeah, there should be a sticker on the inside the door frame.
Okay. So I should be able to.
There's also a plate on the inside the hood on the firewall that has the VIN number on it. There's also the VIN number on the dash. There's a VIN number on the motor, tranny, the frame, the hood.
Right.
But the ones on the inside, they're usually all metal plates, but the one on the hood is a sticker.
Yeah. And there's no way that unless they're opening the vehicle at this point, that they would know what year that vehicle is. So that's my point. Is what Milbillie's saying is they would have been able.
Unless you knew exactly what each number meant or in the VIN, you wouldn't know. You just know that it's a Toyota and it's a RAV4 and it's blue.
Okay.
She sees it. Well, why does her mother report it dark green?
Hey, Lily's on the chat. Hey, Lily, call out to you. She's one of our researchers.
Officers that are stationed to guard the RAV before it's removed from the property state, I was assigned to watch the green vehicle.
Right. Bill Tyson, William, he states it 5 times in one paragraph during his report that it was a green RAV, over and over again. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And what really infuriates me is that we do not have Calumet County on that RAV, even though it's Sheriff Pagel talking directly to Pam. They're the ones that get the call that the RAV is found. Calumet County does not guard that RAV until after 3:00 p.m. And so that means from 10:40, when Manitowoc gets on site, they've got hands on.
They have the search warrant signed.
Yeah, but guess who's guarding the RAV the whole day until what was it, 3:00?
Well,
Manitowoc County.
Is the first one on scene. Remaker.
Yeah. But even after they're on scene, Calumet County doesn't rush in and say, okay, back off, boys. You guys are in a lawsuit against the person that we're on the property of.
Until Greg Shetter mentions to Pagel that there's a lawsuit ongoing.
Yeah, they don't, even though they've been, Colburn and Link are the ones that were just recently depositioned in it. Yeah. None of them, not one of them volunteers that they're in a lawsuit with the individual that owns the property.
It's just funny that the one person that they removed from the property is the coroner. Don't even call her their property.
Oh, and here's a good one. James says, were you looking at the plates when you called this in? Was the wrong question to ask Colburn at the trial. He should have, yeah, I agree, James. He should have just said, were you looking at the RAV4? Yeah, he should have said, were you looking at the car? Yeah.
Well,
Says, Robert says, this is why I believe Teresa was part of the frames job. Remember that he was to quit Auto Trader after Halloween.
Yeah, that is strange, isn't it? That Teresa Halbach reports to Tom Pierce that October 31st is her last night to work for Auto Trader. That's a little foreshadowing.
I happen to be one of those people who believe fully that she's alive.
I know. I'm still on the fence, but I totally respect that, even from a scientific point, I can't debunk you. I can only say that, as time goes on, you may be right. Who knows at this point for me? Dogs don't lie, but when you look at what the dogs say,
saying something.
what the dogs do say, according to Julie Kramer, is that they respond to human blood and human remains. And if you look at it, we're looking at an Indian burial ground for Manitowoc County. It's just littered with the Algoma Indians. And right down the road, 5 or 6 miles from there, is Maribel Caves, which even teenagers have found skull parts and stuff from the old Indian burial parts. So who knows? I mean, at this point, if this is true, of course, this is one of the most gruesome murders ever. But when you look at those bones, they don't just look like somebody took a yard rake. They look they're exploding. I mean, we've got toothpick-sized bones. This is fragmented beyond just a normal fire.
I believe they could have gotten everything they need to make the dogs react the way they reacted from Carmen Botwell.
I believe everything they found was manufactured.
Everything? Yeah. It is, and you know what you guys are saying is making so much sense. Think of the way Zellner talks. She'll say actors, actresses, and she'll say staged.
That's
and
what I feel.
It's like a play we're watching. It's very disturbing.
I've felt this way for 3 years, and I've tried to walk away from it, and I can't.
Right. I want to throw this in from Expedition Spirit Paranormal. Sammy G, they say that they have not proven TH is actually the victim. At this point, that's true. There's no proof. There's no proof. And that's why we got to get these bones, because we would know.
Sammy, we were talking earlier. Hi, Sam.
Yeah. Also to call this out, as long as we're on the topic, it being a staged event, how much more fitting that the undersheriff owns Cleveland Auto Salvage and Sales. So even the undersheriff from Manitowoc County has a smelter and has his own business sitting there. And, we keep hearing yard, but a lot of the testimony and reports that they're writing, they don't say Avery Salvage Yard. Like the notes of Lynn Kaczynski that I did the video on about the body. It doesn't say salvage yard. What it says is, it says body, measurement, dig site, salvage yard. So, there are salvage yards like Rodant. We found out that Rodant's right there, the neighbor. That's kind of strange. He owns a salvage yard as well and has for years. It really bothers me that they don't do this investigation properly. It's just killing me. I was reading some of what they're writing. Just one note, Kayomi writes, the bones would have to have matter on them, no matter how small, for the dogs to scent them. I don't know, Kayomi. I would have to check into that a little bit, mainly because I just read a scientific report.
Scent dog, but
yeah, the cadaver dog, I'm not sure that's true, because they did a test, a scientific test recently in the last 10 years. And they found bones that were buried for 17 years, and the cadaver dogs were able to find them. I would love you guys. Let's all have a Christmas wish this year, even sooner. Let's have like a Mother's Day wish so that it's sooner that somebody takes cadaver dogs on that property and rewalks it now. I mean, honestly, why can't we do something like that?
You have to give permission, otherwise.
Yeah. To go on the quarry, you'd
Well,
have to
why
have
can't
permission
I'm
from the
talking about
quarry.
Zellner? Zellner's got permission before. She might could get it again from her dad. James.
Well, I would imagine Steve's family would let her on, but I don't know about Rhonda.
Yeah. James Barlow wrote, also strange police record shows that the RAV4 was found and impounded on November 4th. Actually, it said the 3rd. It was November 3rd.
Go to show my screen.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm going back to Milbillie's screen for everybody. It is the 3rd, and you can see it here where my cursor is. Scroll up a little bit so they can see the top of this, so we can get the title of this and they can look it up themselves. Okay, so you're looking at the Manitowoc County Sheriff. Yep. Date printed. This one happens to be printed on the 16th. I can never say his name.
Ledvina.
Ledvina. Now scroll down a little bit. It says property 11/03/2005. And it says one non-IBR property, Teresa Halbach kidnapped. And then that was a code none. And then 11/03/2005, evidence seized, automobiles, Toyota RAV4 Sport, Toyota RAV4. What color are you guys? Dark green utility.
Okay.
Dark
Now, why
green.
do they have vehicles empty? Nothing.
So if this is a staged event and now we have a teal or blue, it makes you think that right there they grabbed her real vehicle. It didn't have what they wanted, pointed to Steve Avery. So they get rid of it. And now they've got to stage an event where they don't have Teresa Halbach's DNA freely, organically in the vehicle. And maybe they did put a different vehicle out there on Avery's. And maybe it is the same vehicle the entire time. It's just not Teresa's. Because it goes from dark green. It stays dark green the entire time she's missing, including this document where they're saying they seized it. But then when it goes to Avery's and we see pictures and it goes to the crime lab and all that, all of a sudden this car changes, obviously. And I want you to flip back to your desktop if you would. It turns to a blue. I don't care who you are. That is a blue car. And in the crime lab, let me go back to the crime lab picture. That is well, that's not the crime lab picture. Here, let's go up here. Give it a minute. That's just one off of Toyota. Don't look at that one. These are all three of these pictures are truly the exhibits. These are not random pictures. This one on the end, look at that. How is that dark green? That's what's sitting at our crime lab. How could the mother of this woman, if Teresa's driving that vehicle, at what point is she going to call out and say, somebody help me find my daughter? Her vehicle is dark green. She would have misled the entire world trying to find her daughter had she done that. There's something wrong with the picture, you guys. And if they seized it on the 3rd, are we looking at it on the left? And then this is the replacement that they stashed on Avery's property on the right. That's a question I have. Very, very possible at this point because we have a complete staged event. All right, guys, let's go back. What's going on? I got to kind of jump in. It's moving. It is a blue car. It is a blue car. And Steven said green. When they asked him what color the car was that she came and did the appointment in, he said green. He's a car guy. He would have said, yeah, I'm not sure. It was kind of in between blue, in between green, maybe greenish blue, bluish green, but he didn't. He said green. What color does the mom say? Green. What color? Let's go back to your incident report real quick. What color does your incident report say? Dark green.
Green.
Yeah.
And Daisy Lady says, oh, it's simple. Also, at one point during the trial, Crap specifically that the color is blue.
Yeah, he even said something about not saying it's green. I also, as long as we're talking about that man, let's get this out of the way. What about this gentleman agreement, you guys?
Oh my God.
Well, you got to think about it. They are talking about everything they're going to talk in the trial before it happens.
I just can't see Zellner doing that with the other people. If Zellner would have been the first lawyer, let's say, can you see her having that?
That's why I think Jerry Buting is Peg's boy, and that he was not there to help Steven, that he was there to help put Steven in prison.
Janet Vole says, I'm with you, Casey. He has to get a hold of that car to inspect it. Yep. I mean, now that we know the bones are gone, let's get that RAV, you guys. Push them to the wall. We want the RAV. It's just ridiculous. Jammin' Joe says, my pleasure, and King Kratz is going to need an air conditioner for where his special place in hell. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had to approve those comments for those few little words there. There's a few of them wrong.
Well, you know, they're all good supporters.
Twice, yeah.
Kayomi says, what is important? What's that?
Is after Colborn talks.
Okay, so you guys, what Milbillie's saying is this is before.
The zipper. So already after they talk to Steven, in their eyes, he's a suspect.
Okay, so this report takes place on the 3rd, and if you look up there, it says reported date. It's telling you exactly what time this occurred, and that would be that's military 1834, so that's 6:34 p.m. So that means
at 6:46 p.m. All points bulletin goes out to all the officers in description looking for her car.
At what time? Say again.
6:46.
Isn't that when they filed that FBI thing? Or no?
Wait a minute. Let's back down this report. Scroll this up for a minute. Just a little bit, Milbillie. I got to show this. You guys, I'm sorry, scroll it the other way. You guys got to see this. Okay. Stop right there, please. Okay, you guys. This report was dated 11/03/2005 at 6:34 p.m., correct? We all see that with our own eyes. But look at this. Barb Ellen Tadich. Oops, you moved it.
I know, because you got to look at the date this was also printed out.
But it doesn't matter when it's printed. This is the actual form itself. Scroll back to where it says Barb Tadich. This piece of paper right here would have been created on the date that it's stated, which is 11/3/05 at 6:34 p.m. I don't care when they print it. It's when it was created. They've named the time that they created it. Report date, disposition, all that. They've got it as Barb Ellen Tadich.
Subject.
And they've got her living on Pringle Road, which she did not at that time. What this tells me is this is a falsified report that they've made later, like Colburn did after, like you said earlier, after Steven gets out of prison the first time, then Colburn files a report. This report...
They list all the suspects.
Yeah, but this report couldn't have been made in 2005 because if you scroll back up...
Yeah, but how is Brendan Dassey listed as a suspect if this report's made on that?
Exactly my point, dear. I'm saying they're claiming this report. Huh?
And everything's out of time.
Everything's out of time. This report alone shows they're full of crap. Here's why. This form shows reported date, disposition date. I'm on a live
Ziggy
chat.
is dying to have somebody look at the color chart on the cars, and
Okay.
there's been several comments.
All right. I'll go
Get a
back to the
better
color chart.
understanding. I wish I could give you the color chart link.
I've got the color chart I can share if they want.
Yeah, there was other comments earlier too about the colors. But
Okay, I'll go to the color chart. All right, you guys, it's on my screen. And let me just make it bigger and we'll go right to the color part. There you are. Can you see the color chart, you guys? This is right from Toyota. So we do not have a blue. There is no blue. This color, which is what is so strange, is considered Royal Sapphire Pearl, which is the only blue we have, is a Royal Sapphire. Sapphire is an in-between a bluish purple.
Confetti blue Mecca.
Where do you see? Oh, you're right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I missed that one. There's a light blue right here. And then we have the deep jewel green pearl, which is what it looks like in the beginning. And then we have a mystic teal mica, which is what's reported on the DOJ. Now, I do want to mention this. As far as the DOT, that's interesting that on the 4th, or was it the 5th, BB, where the DOT, which is the Department of Transportation for Wisconsin, has computer outage, complete radio silence.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah. They had complete radio silence, and you can even hear it in the dispatch call that they did end up having. Oh, she says to one of the dispatcher says, well, I'm not sure how to check that because the DOT computers are still down. So I find it interesting that we have a major state event, which has never occurred since then and never occurred before then. We have radio silence. And Milbillie, you pointed out we're missing some of the dispatch calls, aren't we? On a whole day or something?
The whole day of the 4th.
We're missing all the dispatch calls from Manitowoc County.
You only have the walkie-talkie chatter between them. That's it.
And that's it. And we know that didn't occur. There was a recording. We just don't get it. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to chat real quick and see where we're sitting with everybody. Oh, you guys, just so you know, for those of you that basically have a ma'am life like those on this chat, we're going to do this where we have different people come in and just do general chat on Saturday nights, and it'll be alive.
You know, I just found out pretty much prove if this is her car or not.
Okay. Do share.
You know the picture, or go to my desktop.
Okay, I'm heading there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Notice her mirror.
Okay.
Yep.
Notice her mirror?
Yeah.
It's folded in.
Yeah.
Not all mirrors do that. Notice how her head is strategically placed for the wind visor thing is for the sunroof.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always been the sunroof discussion that it's not listed as one of the options that she had. Oh, there you go. You've got that up on the screen.
Yeah,
let me increase that.
Foam. What they're saying is foam, spray foam.
If you want me to, let me see how I can do that. How did I make it so that,
magnifying thing?
whoops, I went off yours, Milbillie, and went on mine. It went crazy. How do I make it smaller right here? Post that picture in the little word chat part, if I can get to it. Oh, I made it even bigger. Lordy. Your desktop has taken over. I did it. I don't know how to get out of it either. I can try escape. No, there's no escape from Milbillie's home screen.
You have to.
Yeah, that's okay. I like his screen. All right. I don't know how to make it smaller. I was going to have you post it, then I could click it and we could like bring it up really big. Or you do it. Enlarge that part where you've got that tire. We were all wanting to see like if that was what the heck that muddy like wad of stuff is in her tire well.
That's what I can't remember whose name it was. Somebody said it. It said it's foam, spray foam from the can of Fix-A-Flat.
Okay, there's one theory. Another theory I read the other day, I can't remember. I think it was on George Zipper's blog or something, which was, at first I thought it was stupid kind of sounding, but then when I looked at it better and they had a real close-up picture and then they had a toe strap folded and kind of wadded up and it was real muddy, it looked like that a little bit. And I was like, well, is that a toe strap? Can you make that part any bigger, Milbillie? Let me see if I can go on. Where would I? Oh, you've got it. You're getting it. Sheriff. Oh, we're going on George Zipper blog. I love that site. Love that site. Always learn something.
That's
Wait, look up at the years. Hold on. Ziggy has a point. I'm trying to follow what Ziggy's saying. Wait, and he puts it in caps, or she does. Wait, look up at the years. Are you talking about on
color chart? I guess.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh,
wow, you guys, look at what he's saying. 99, and look down the line. You can do the dark green, and you could do the you could do the teal, or you could do the blue royal sapphire, but you could not have done that confetti blue then. Big Jeff just messaged me and said we're rocking it out. We're just doing what this is, you guys. For all the supporters that are tuned into the live, what this basically is this is what we do on a regular basis all the time. We're just basically sharing it on a phone. This is our Saturday night, and we've opted in, and we've all, Milbillie, me, and everybody else has decided that on Saturday nights, since we're kind of like have a ma'am life, we're just going to come on and do a live with whoever wants to chat. So that's what we're doing. It's a free-for-all general chat. It can go into any direction you want. And we're trying to support you guys also in the sense that there's a lot of the times, people come out with theories and stuff, but it doesn't always pan out. And that doesn't mean that they haven't got great ideas. So you'll see that even with me, I'll be like, I know what happened. This happened. And then somebody's like, it couldn't have because of this. So it's not that any of us really have any of this completely figured out. We're just trying to get to something that we can send to Zellner, or we can learn in the case to be able to influence it in a great way. And anything we do brings public awareness. So, and that keeps boys safe, keeps the world watching, keep the world watching.
And James says, blackout of all of Manitowoc County top communications on November. And
right.
An unprecedented failure.
Right. True that.
For real.
All right. Daisy Lady says.
Dispatch call from Colborne calling in on this.
Yeah, Ziggy said, see how the blue looks kind of sort of purple.
Wait, that kind of explains then why he used his cell phone.
What now? Oh, that's right. Oh my God, that's right. Colborne uses a cell phone. Uh-huh.
They're all using their cell phones. You can hear it over.
Yeah, because remember, yeah. Okay, so Daisy says, in the court documents of Barb's divorce from Tom Yonda, it states her address in 2003 or 2004 was on Pringle Road. Okay, so then she shouldn't have been being called Tadich then, though, on that form.
Daisy Lady says Allie Apperson swears it's from Fix-A-Flat in the tire.
Okay, maybe it is.
They also believe queso.
Well, I'm just saying it could be fix it flat. You know, we have damage in that area. I'm not a mechanic. Do we have any mechanics here? Would you possibly be able, like, if your fender?
It depends. It would depend on you have to get the exact brand of fix a flat that was found in her car
Okay.
to be able to duplicate what happened. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
Doesn't all fix-a-flats work basically the same way?
No, because my car that I had prior, my Dodge Neon, I had a screw in my tire. So I put a can of fix-a-flat in, and then the screw came out, and it was coming out like, it looked like spit coming out my tire.
Okay.
And like later on, you mean it came out
Well,
later?
No, because when you put fix-a-flat in your car, you're supposed to drive it right away.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, doesn't
after
it?
you stop driving it, all of it would seep down to the bottom. How would it be coming up the top? It would just be air.
Okay. So is there a way to get a better picture? I'll work on getting us a better picture.
Unless it's a huge hole, but again, the owner's never seen.
Yeah, if she could get her hands on it, it would sure help. Let me see if I can get us. If I can get my computer to handle it. I know I'm on Discord and YouTube, both of them live, plus Hangouts, so the RAM is absolutely killing the computer for me to do anything else. Plus, I have PowerPoint open. I've pretty much opened every large program I can. There we go. Yeah, I can't go on that one, but I can go on this one. Let's see if we can't find. I don't know if it's going to work. There we go. Okay, Rav. Maybe it's not going to work.
Boogie says, if you search on YouTube, there's a video of a guy that put fix-a-flat in a tire and drove. The result was the same as the driver front wheel of the RAV.
Well, if the blowout was, it would have to defy gravity, but I suppose it could. All right, let's go to images here. We're going to go look up the RAV and the crime.
Enjoying this. She says, thank you. It's nice bouncing stuff around.
It is, too. It's a chance for everybody to get to have a voice. And I will tell you guys, we will figure out a way to where some of you that enjoy Puddle Chat will be able to come on to the call there, and you'll be on the live. And as we go forward, and you'll be able to ask your own questions right there on the live, too. All right, guys, I typed in RAV4 in-state crime lab. Maybe I need to type Halbach because I'm not getting it in the. Okay, here we go. We're getting a picture. Ooh, yeah. Booyah. Let's make that really big.
That's mud and grass.
Okay, I'm going up to, we're going to try 400. 400%. All right, guys, let's go. Oh, look at my scroll bar. It's huge. Can I go even higher, or is that the maximum? I can go max. You guys, I swear to you, I think that George Zipper writer, whoever the author was, and I would love to give him credit. So if anybody finds that, let me know. Look at that. You've got like a buckle right here. I swear, I think they're right. I think this is a toe strap that is muddy. And this looks like the buckle right here of the ratchet strap part. And
yes. Somebody, I read that somewhere online. Somebody
said
that was a
somebody said that. At first, I thought they were crazy. But look, you can honestly see right here where I've got my little cursor hand. This looks like just like that ratchet buckle, you know, the one where you're tightening down the toe strap. And if you've ever folded one of these, and if this was muddy, that could very easily be a really muddy toe strap shoved up under there after they parked it. Let's go to another picture of the RAV.
Jamming Joe, in one of those highlighted comments. I'm so happy. Live stream on Saturday night.
Awesome.
Is there any way we can message Kathleen Sumner to show our support.
Oh, you mean us to message her to show our support? Yeah, we can tweet her and we can also email her. I wanted to show you guys if that is a toe strap. If it is, I want to find a front picture to see if we see years ago when we were working. Here it is. This is the picture. Okay, let's get this thing up to 600% or whatever it was that we can get it up to. We'll go 400 maybe or 375. Why did I lose my picture? Can I whine, please?
Sammy says test the mud.
It went away.
And Robert says
Here.
that's a toe strap.
What's that? Look under here, Milbillie. Can you see it? Does this area where I have this, where you're seeing this, would that be normally shaped that way? Or they would have had to tow it from the back way, wouldn't they?
That's a dent or
They definitely couldn't have drove it forward because there's a big ass tree in front of it.
Yeah. What's going on here? Why? Wow. And also, there's that box again, only it's flattened. What is up with that?
The ramp was towed onto the wrecking.
Let's go back up to, okay, so you guys, I want you to watch this. This bothers the crap out of me. Like I can't stand it. All right, so we're back to the box again. Right there it sits. Now watch this. You see it right here? It's sitting on the hood, right? Okay, let's go to the crime lab. What do you see on the hood of the crime lab? The flattened box right there. Then where else do you see the box? Let me show you. I just saw it a few seconds ago when we were scrolling. I got to find the one in the crime lab. Oh, Lord, it's too big.
Toe strap on same side as Miss.
We got to go down smaller so I can actually see again. All right, so.
I don't know why they would tuck a toe strap up under there, though. Because
I don't know. Look, you guys, here it is. Here's what I want to show you. So the box. Look.
Why would it be under the wheel well?
I don't know. Maybe they shoved it under there. Maybe that's what was in this thing box. Here's the box sitting on the same part of a hood again.
I think that's a different.
Well, I'm going to get it bigger. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's go up to like 600% or something. So I'm clicking. Okay, I can only go to 5. I can only go to 5. No, that's the same box. Look at it. Right there's the piece. It's got the duct tape. It's a box.
Oh, you're up too high.
Oh, I'm up too high. There we go. How's that?
I don't think it's the right color to be done.
Maybe it's not the box, but it sure looks like the box to me. It looks like that reflective duct tape.
How even in the crime lab, they've got stuff setting on the hook.
That's what I'm saying. It's in the same place as that other box. It looks like it's got the duct tape. It's reflective. It's got the ripped up part right here. But you guys, I'm going to stand by this on my personal opinion. Now, I'm just a normal housewife. Y'all know I have no credentials. This is my own personal view.
Like
this is a toe strap, in my opinion. I agree with that George Zipper blog that I read it on.
That where I
kudos to the author. This is, to me, clearly to me, this is the ratchet part of a toe strap. Why they would shove it under there? To hide the fact they towed it. Because according to them, they had a wrecker that came in, hooked up to it, and they had to do all kinds of drive shaft story. Interesting. All right, let me shrink this back down. But I don't know. I'm not saying I want you to have my opinion. I'm just offering my opinion. This, to me, looks like the ratchet right here of the toe strap. And then it's wadded up and folded and put under here. And it looks like it got pretty muddy. And I'm sure it wasn't a new one in the first place. Okay. Well, it'll show everybody what's there. I'll go there. Okay. I'm there. On the whiteboard?
Yep, whiteboard meeting room. Just open
Okay.
the link.
I'm trying. My computer's. Let me
Daisy
close
Lane
out.
Says, I don't know. When our boys were teenagers, we did motocross all over the nation, including near home in Wisconsin, and had tons of muddy toe straps. Never looked like that.
Okay. I don't know what it is. In my personal view, if at that level, it looks a lot like. What are you showing me, Milbillie?
The video Ziggy posted about the fix the flat.
Okay, you guys, we're going to watch a video together called Fix Tire on a Wheelbarrow or a Dolly Replace Stem. I think I can watch it and be live. I don't know. It's a learning process. Or maybe I can't. Milbillie, you may have to watch it and I'll share your desktop. How's that sound? Because it's just a little black box for me. Or just, there's a link. Share the link in the puddle room, maybe. It's coming. I just don't have any patience.
Hey, YouTube. Well, I had a flat tire on this wheelbarrow.
Oh, yeah.
And I took out the stem with my little stem device here. And I filled it up with this foam here that I bought at Home Depot.
Oh, that's not Fix the Flat.
Put that in.
That's
Yeah.
that foam.
And just let it fill.
But we don't even
But I
know what
also
that can
poked
was, do
holes in
we?
the tire to allow this foam room to expand.
That's foam, not fix the flat.
Yeah, that's not Fix a
That's
Flat.
why this stuff is
That's
coming out.
foam insulation, yeah.
And what I'm
Actually,
gonna
I
do is
use
just
that when we
shape
do the
that
haunted
out.
house because you can make bubbling cauldrons with it and
now I
then
got
just
a
spray
tire
paint it.
That is rigid,
Okay.
rigid.
Okay, so there we go there. All right, guys. Let me get back
So
to.
then is he saying that the tire then works? You fill it with that?
I don't know.
Might be handy to know later.
I can't get back to the chat now. I don't know. Oh,
That's-
I'm just so
all right.
impatient.
I'll
Soon
hunt
as-
it down at the link in the other room.
Okay. As soon as something shows up white or black, I'm like, well, can't see anything now. We'll let that work for a minute. All right, I'm going to go back to closed door. And
James says, glad we are riveted on something.
we're all learning together. It's part of the game. Milbillie, I'm going to click on yours. Can you try and show us? I'm just so curious. How far is on a Google map? Can you show us through that thing you do with your talent there? Show us how far Scott Tadich's home was located according to where that little pull-in is where everybody spotted the RAV4. I'll be right back, you guys.
Hi, Drum. If you want to pop in, we're still here. We're in the meeting room. Rubberducky got it for that movie.
I'm back. Sorry about
A lot of
that.
comments about the Fix the Flat and
Mother Nature called and I couldn't take anymore. My eyeballs were floating. Okay, where are we, you guys?
there's a lot of comments about Fix the Flat and about Fix the Flat working the
Okay.
same way as that phone. And
All right, you guys. So that could be Fix a Flat. Nobody really knows what that is. We have Fix a Flat as an option. One theory would be a toe strap. Another theory would be a beehive. There's, more there than meets the eye. Obviously, it's something that should not be in her wheel well. So
a beehive. Oh,
Beehive Bumblebee. Bumblebee. Hey, Bron.
Hi, Bron.
Hello.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I've kind of lost my voice a bit.
Hey, Bron, just so you know, you
He
are
knows
on
he was in the
YouTube.
room. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I came onto YouTube and found you.
Yes. Yeah, we just started we're going to do this on Saturday nights. So everybody that is doing the live with us, you're literally in the lab with us right now in closed door meetings. And so those that are on this call with us are actually researchers that do this all the time. And this is how we get our movies to give to you guys is we do this. And so instead of keeping it private where we do a lot of research and we talk a lot about the case without you guys, we thought, well, not on Saturday nights since ma'am is our life on Saturday nights. Yeah, and all other nights. But on Saturday nights, we're going to go live and we're going to share with you guys. So what you're looking at now is where Teresa Hallbach's vehicle was seen by Kevin Ramlow. Jill Rain lives across the street. She reported this area had a suspicious vehicle. Irvin Coning reported on live TV at the time that he had seen a unit that resembled the RAV. And then Robert Fabian said he saw the RAV here. So we have quite a few witnesses saying the RAV is here. At the time that he had seen the unit that resembled somebody needs to mute me. Somebody's watching the video.
Mute to YouTube.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I found out the hard way too, Bron.
Ames said Rubberducky got a flat and we're trying to help her.
Oh, Lord. Okay,
And
take
then
us.
Baby Lady said maybe Ryan tried fix the parking light with the bum insulation.
Leave it. Yeah, leave it to him. He probably would. Okay, Milbillie. So you showed us that. Now, this is Highway 147. How far would you have to travel or take us there to where Scott Tadich's little trailer was sitting?
That's where Scott's trailer was?
Yeah. This is 147. Bron, do you have YouTube on, hun?
Yeah, I do. I'm just answering people.
Okay, you need to mute
Yeah,
it.
but can you?
You have to mute it to be on the live YouTube. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Can I hear the YouTube? Can I?
You can hear us. There's nothing on YouTube to hear because you're talking in the group.
Sorry.
You're on YouTube now.
You're on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, so I'm following you. I'm 147. So how far away are we from Scott Tadich? Right there. All right. So we are really close to that location, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Jeff wants to know, how does this fit into what happened to the state, according to the state?
Well, it really doesn't. It contradicts the state.
Sorry. When you were talking about YouTube, I'm like, yeah, I'm on YouTube. I'm answering Jeff.
Yeah. And I'm glad you're on. You can be on the YouTube. You just have to have it muted if you're on the actual recording part too.
Did it again. Yeah, I've got you.
Am I allowed to join in?
Of course, Silkman. Hi.
Definitely not.
See, just like any other night.
It really is. We got to remember we're on live and not swear, you guys.
Oh, hey, I've done so good. I deserve a cookie.
I know you have. Okay, you guys. So what we're looking at is Milbillie showing us.
Can I just answer Jeff before I forget? Jeff, my understanding is that the state pretty much ignored that. I think that a lot of us have tended to ignore it as well and say, look, they must have been mistaken, or maybe it was another car, and I think people are starting to, this is just my own personal sense, so people please feel free to disagree. My own personal sense is people are starting to come back to things that we've ignored, thinking, at first I think we were thinking, oh, people must have been mistaken, maybe it was another car. And now we're starting to come back to those things thinking, well, if it wasn't another car, what would that mean?
Yeah.
And so, because the state obviously didn't want it to be Teresa's car, but what if it was?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of why we're circling back a bit more now. That's my own personal sense. Is I feel like we're circling back around things, but that's why. I don't
I
know.
get
That's
frustrated
my own-
because back in the day, and I think, well, I know BB knows what I'm talking about. Back in the day when we would bring stuff up like this, the guilters would tromp onto our room and they would be like, here's your tinfoil hat and go have a beer with Elvis. And
Yeah.
yeah.
We got bullied a lot back in the day.
Yeah, we got bullied like constantly. We didn't care. We wore our tinfoil
But I read
hats
a
proudly
quote-
back in the day, didn't we, BB?
I read a quote which was a Sherlock Holmes quote the other day on Twitter, and it said something like, if you've eliminated all the reasonable possibilities, then what's left is probably what happened.
I put that in one of our videos too. That's great.
Right,
That's great
okay.
quote.
And when I read that, I thought, you know
Milbillie,
what? That's why we're coming around to these things that seem so unlikely.
Milbillie, can you take us to the Avery Salvage Yard on this map? Like how it on
Can you
here?
drive us?
Well, I know, but you'll be able to see it on this screen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Can you drive us on your screen?
Oh, I thought you said, oh, that's private. I'm like, yeah, but we'd still see it.
No. Can you drive?
Milbillie, drive us to Avery's, please.
Yeah, drive us down.
Take us to Cuss Road.
You can't go down Cuss. Google Maps doesn't let you.
You
Really?
will finally get to go for a ride in the car with Milbillie.
Yeah, we'll get to see how his driving technique is.
Got your
Yeah,
seatbelts
Milbillie.
fastened?
Yeah, we got
Oh,
feathers. We
Milbillie,
can
I'll
fly out of
be
here.
after you.
Oh, I almost said a cuss word. Oh,
Be careful.
I bet you do a really good.
Thank you, James, for joining us. He's got 20 kids in a swimming pool.
Children.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm really in a car. I'm almost getting motion sickness driving.
And Jeff says, I think Zellner is just playing coy on the raft.
Well,
Oh,
it's very possible that she's so concentrated on the bones that she's leaving that. You know, she's always got an ace, you know. Maybe the Rav is her ace in the hole. Ooh, what are we looking at?
She was very confident on Twitter one day when she said that she knows that it's I can't remember her exact words. She knows it's safe.
Well, I hope she
thought,
does.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, what you're looking at is feral gas, and this is where that propane dealer would have been sitting because he states he wasn't on Avery Road, that he was across the way. So if you look, you've got that blue dot up there. That would have been Pharaoh's gas there. And then this will clear up in just a minute. It's real blurry right now. Whoa. Did you mark that, Milbillie, on your map? Or is that on Google Map? The dotted line. Was that already on the map? I think we
the
lost
blue one,
Milbillie.
you mean?
I don't know. He's lit up green like he's talking, but nothing's being said. Oh, yeah. This is the quarry. Can you show us Deer Camp, Milbillie? Okay, there's Cuss Road.
Yeah, he can't drive along Cuss Road because Google Maps won't let you.
Right.
Yeah, the Google car hasn't been on that road. So.
Oh, thanks, Daisy Lady. A dotted line sometimes indicates a walking trail.
But it went over to like a marked place.
Yeah, that may be one of ours. If we've got a dotted line, if we've got a dropped marker, it may indicate a walk to there. That might be ours, yeah.
Okay, wait. Stop right there, Milbillie. I think you are right close to where when we put in the GPS. Oh, lost it. Shoot. Right where you
Just
were when we put in
back a
the.
bit.
I'm sorry, Bron. What were you saying?
Yep. Can you go back to where Ducky said
Yeah.
where you were?
What we did is we put in the GPS code of where the latest report gave us the code for GPS that pinpointed where the bones were found. And
Yeah.
when we put it in, it took us directly to the Manitowoc gravel pit, not the Redant. And it took us to the Manitowoc gravel pit where you see the wind turbine, that plastic stuff you're looking at. Well, I say plastic,
That's
it wasn't.
metal. Yeah.
Yeah, the white stuff. It took us right to those, like,
Turbine parts.
yeah, turbine parts. And they were literally laying on top of the exact location. Yes.
Yeah, it was under some of the long log looking ones.
Now, this right here, scroll up a little bit where you see those. Milbillie, can you go back to those little tubes, get them in the picture too? Because, yeah. So hold for just a minute. On the right, you see Conveyor Road, right? Is that what that says? I think that says Conveyor Road with that green.
Yeah, it was some of them long tube ones.
Yep. Where my cursor is right in here. This is where the GPS coordinates took us for the bones. Right there where his cursor is. I thought your cursor was mine.
Really good way. This is a really good way, Ducky, because you can put your cursor and Milbillie can move it.
Yeah, this is really good. So this is where, now pan out just a little bit like you were going to do, Milbillie, if you would, please, and show us in relation to the Avery property and Deer Camp, if we keep our eyes on that. Oh, I forgot we're on live. I'm sorry, guys. I got to look back for a minute, see if we're missing anything. Hold on. I'll come back to you.
No, we're right.
Okay, you guys let me know if anybody had any questions. Okay.
I've got the live chat up as well.
Okay, good. Just let me know. All right, guys. So can we pan just a little bit more over so we can see those little white tube thingies and Avery's, or make it smaller so we can see it? Oh, look, you guys, an ad about Trump. Yay. Lordy.
I don't get that. I didn't get that ad.
There it is.
And there was a red
there it all
trailer
is, you
at the
guys.
back.
So please stay here for just a minute. All right. Watch my cursor, you guys. Right here is Cuss Road. Right here is Deer Camp. Right here.
Hang on. Can you just show us Cuss Road and Deer Camp again? Just so
Okay. This right here where my little arrow is, my cursor. Let me do it this way. Stay put, Milbillie, please. I'm going to show you guys with this. So give it a minute to kick in.
Trump. Get off.
Hopefully it'll let me do this. I want to just.
It's okay, Jeannie. Just give Ducky a minute, and I think she's going to change her cursor or something, or maybe draw on her.
Here's what we're doing. I took a screenshot of it. So it's right where it lays. This is Cuss Road here. Then over here, this is Avery Road.
Draw on your screen, Ducky.
I could. Let me do it this way. Hold on. Oh, shoot, I closed it. No. Do you want to save? Cancel. Let me do it this way. Let me grab a screenshot. Then I can draw on this. All right. Now we can scribble. Let's see what color pen we got. Let's go red. It'll be easy for everybody to see it. So right here is Cuss Road. Right where this X is. And then we have Stevens Place right here. So we'll put a big
You'll need to go
S.
slowly.
We'll put
it's
it.
not actually loading quickly. Well, it's not for me. I don't know.
Okay.
For other
It'll
people.
be there. It'll be there. I'll erase it so that we can go back. Okay.
Mhm.
Let me know when you can
That's
see the
great.
screen good. Is it loading okay?
You're still screenshotting for me. How about for other people?
It's all good.
Loading fine my end. I might go
Okay,
off and
guys.
come back on it.
This right here is Cuss Road. This is where the cul-de-sac is. So if you look right here, where I have the eraser, I'll put a little tiny circle. That's right there, Cuss Road.
Yep, right.
All right. Now, right here
Yep, all good for me too.
is the deer camp. So let's change our color for a minute. We'll go to blue. We're going to make a little dotted line. You can see this little path right here. That's how you go from Cuss Road to deer camp. Now, let's switch back to red. This is the Redant Quarry. This is Avery's property. This is where Steven lived in the little trailer. The Yonda residence would have been right there. Right here, this whole area. Well, let me erase that. That looks terrible. Try again. There it is, the red pen. Okay, this, and that's Maya snoring. Sorry, you guys, the pug is snoring. That is the Avery office. So we'll put a big A on there. Now, what the state's saying is that everything took place. Let's get a big yellow marker for this. Oh, we can only do black, red, and blue. We'll do blue. Okay. This is where the state limited everything. It has to be within this area right here. But the truth is that when we got the new finding, the new statement from the state where they talk out of turn, they talk about the Hawbuck pelvic bone. And they say that that bone that they gave the Hawbucks, that bone was found right here. Now, Zellner says that, now correct me if I'm wrong, Milbillie, but didn't Zellner say they brought the RAV in through Conveyor Road?
Yep. Well, William Siebert lives
And
off
then-
Campbell Creek.
Okay.
He stated seeing two vehicles driving in.
All right, let's take a blue, not blue green, but let's take a blue. Let's draw a little car with oh, it's not easy drawing with my mouse. This is going to be a car, you guys.
Oh no.
I know. It looks terrible. I've got little headlights and everything. Okay, that's the RAV4. Looks cute. Okay, so that's where the RAV4 was found on the Avery property. So we'll put RAV there. Yeah, I'm not an artist with my cursor, that's for sure. My mouse is terrible. But that's where the RAV was found. This is where pelvic bone was found. Oh, Lordy. I'm writing bone if you can't tell. Oh, it looks like I'm writing the Sikiki note. That's how bad it looks. Oh, look at that.
Maybe that's how it was written.
Maybe that's how they did it with the computer mouse. So, look at our new map, you guys. Isn't it beautiful? But
oh my God. We should post it.
I reckon DNA is simpler to understand.
yeah, this is how Kratz handles court, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh, the lies that man has told. Oh my Lordy. Telling that jury all that crap. I'm not going to spend 20 seconds on those bones because they don't matter. Right? And yet it's the pivotal part. It's pivotal.
But you now know why, right? It's
Yeah,
obvious.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, Ducky, can
Yeah.
I ask you to go, this is your challenge.
Oh boy.
Can you go back to the start of when you started drawing and rename all of those spots? Can you just point to them and say?
I can. I can. I'm not going to take it all away, but okay. So right here, I'm double ringing
I
this.
just made with your cursor.
Yep. This is Cuss.
Hang on,
I'm
where's
like
the cursor?
trying. I can't write very good with this. This is cuss. Let me get an
No, you don't need to
eraser.
write, just, yeah.
Let me
Okay, so
erase a
cuss
bunch of
road.
stuff so we can rewrite it.
Oh, that looks gorgeous.
Uh,
Yeah, beautiful.
I am good at this, aren't I? It looks like my kindergartner did it. Okay, right here is cuss. So let's try to actually write cuss. We'll try to clean this up a little bit. So in perspective, you guys, DCI, which is Department of Correctional Investigation, they all came right here. That's my sound as their cars came up. And there's this huge to-do down here. Huge to-do.
There were lots more than just one.
Yes. Oh,
Black.
goodness. And there's a huge black spot. So let's make our pretend little marker on the map. So right here is the black spot on Cuss Road. And this is where they have this big thing. And they take everybody off of over here by Stevens. Let's erase some of this mess over here.
Oh, that's a good black spot.
Okay. So this is Stevens here, and they're all trying to sort through these burn barrels, but they get pulled off of everything, and they hightail it over here to this place. Now, keep in mind, boy, that's a bad arrow.
Daisy Lady just typed something, and she said that is Leo. Leo R's house just to the west of your blob. And Jeannie's saying, I'll send you some stickers.
Okay. Whoa, where did I just lose my... There. Okay, so we've got Cuss Road. Now, let's go back.
So there was Leo's house was somewhere there.
I'm going to put Rand, or try, quarry. I'm just going to put Rand. You guys know that's the quarry right here.
And
This...
Daisy Lady says, the burial site that Bushman roped off was in walking distance right between the cul-de-sac and the end of Cuss Road and Deer Camp.
Right. So if you look where that black spot is, right here, that's Cuss Road cul-de-sac. And then let's get the red marker and I'll show you. This is Deer Camp right here. That's Deer Camp. And that's where we have the whole barrel conspiracy. So we are finding out more and more about the barrels. We have several researchers that are literally very passionate about the barrels. And what they're finding out is we have electronics in those barrels at Deer Camp. So we don't hear about electronics very much at the Deer Camp. We find electronics, what I was going to say is, while they get called, everybody and their brother get called over here, and they're busy on Cuss Road. Guess who shows up over here at the Steve Avery's place? Well, everybody's over here, and nobody but Youst, Jason Youst from Manitowoc County, is guarding the barrels. Scott Blodorn, and Ryan Hilligus show up on the sign in and out logs, and they sign in. That's not how to, yeah, that looks terrible. This is Scott Blodorn.
Enough, isn't Mike Ambach married to Yost?
Yes, Mike Halbach, Teresa's brother, was dating this gentleman's sister who was guarding these electronic barrels, and now they're married.
Just to, you know, add a bit of intrigue to the whole case.
It's really bad.
So's my map.
James
I say intrigue, but I mean.
So
James
now,
is trying to visualize the actual distance between the 2 points.
okay. For any of you that want to screenshot this beautiful artwork of a map, do so. Do so. I will save it in the library for you guys. Some people that are not on the live are going to be like, oh man, a 4th grader made this map, but.
Rubberducky, will you personally sign a copy?
Oh, wait. Okay, wait. Before we save it, I better initial so they understand.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come down here.
Can you put your signature on it?
I'm doing it. It's going to be beautiful.
Put a little duck
Hey, you
on
just
it or
put
something.
a duck icon, yeah.
We're just going to put Rubberducky.
Can you draw a duck?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to just do a K. I'm terrible at this. Let's see if I can draw a duck. Okay, you guys. This is going to be the ugliest. I'm the ugly duckling right now. There's my feet. It's not working. I don't think it looks like a duck, but there it is. Oh, Lordy. The things we do. Okay, you guys. I'm going to throw this in the library. And just for a little bit, let's see, what do we want to put
that
in?
is actually quite cute, Ducky.
Is it? It looks terrible. I'm going to put it under Kathleen Zellner file so nobody thinks that it's a real, like, serious map. We'll put it under, if you're paying attention, you're going to have to go to Zellner tweets.
Says you get an A for effort.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to put,
Jim and Joe laugh at it too.
yeah, it's terrible, but this is the Rubberducky map, and it's in the library under, oh, you won't even have that part till the new edition. You won't be able to get to it till the new edition comes out.
Laughing about it.
Oh, yeah, you will, because Kathleen Zellner's stuff there. Yeah, it's there. It's there. You'll be able to go on to, I believe it's attorneys or defense or something like that. And then you can go on to Kathleen Zellner's, click her picture, and it'll take you right in there. And then just choose tweets, and you'll be able to see that gorgeous artwork. Okay.
Daisy Lady says, somehow a fifth barrel shows up at the crime lab and taken back. Where exactly it was taken back to, question mark.
Yeah, that's a great question. And another thing is, you got to remember this barrel, when they go and the DCI is at Calumet County, 4 barrels arrive. They unload them. They're going through the barrels, DCI, and also the Ertl and the others are all there from the state crime lab. They're going through the barrels, and they get a call to go to Cuss Road. And so if you read the report, it states they put barrel 4 back on the trailer. They never mention what they do with the other barrels. They talk about putting barrel 4 back on. They name it out, and they're guarding barrel 4 like it's everything. But the other 3 barrels don't even seem like they're paying that much attention to it. They don't report. They lock them up. Nothing.
Didn't Ken Kratz have something to do with those barrels?
I'm not sure.
He decided to number them 1, 2, 3, 4.
But didn't he want the
I didn't think Ken Kratz could count that high, BB. I doubt that.
And Daisy Lady says, if it looks like a duck and draws like a duck, and then the laughing face.
Okay, you guys, let's go back onto this here. I want to go and get out of this. I don't know. My computer's running pretty dang slow with all this open. But I would like to get out this and go look at something else. Is it going to let me? It'll let me close it. Oh, maybe there's no back. That could be why we can't click back. Okay. Where are we anyway? We're on a search engine. It just says Teresa Hellbach evidence. What the heck? Let's click it.
Someone had asked exactly how far is it between places. Does anyone actually want to know that? Because if you on my computer on a map, because I can actually show you distances on a map if you want to see that.
I think that would be a good idea. Bron, can you share your desktop while you do it, and I'll click onto you?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, wait a minute.
I just need to jump on my computer, so don't do it yet.
Okay. While you're doing that, I want to head back over to what we were just working on. All I did is I'm in Bing, which is just a weird search engine. I normally use Chrome, but I think this is interesting. It's a WordPress document, and they've got exhibits on it. Let's see. It says here, Let me see if I can copy this and put it in the live chat. I'm trying anyway. Ooh, I don't think I'll be copying it and typing it. Let's see if I can copy. Can I not? I wanted to share the link with you guys. It won't let me. Oh, yeah, well, I'm just impatient. The duck is never
You could
patient.
write it on screen.
Yeah, they need to be able to click it.
Is anyone okay?
Somebody approve Milbillie's thing so that they
Yeah.
can.
If BB, can you jump on YouTube? Oh, just click
There,
on
I
your
did
name.
it. It's showing. I think it's showing. Okay, Robert, I'm going to let that go, but try not to swear so I don't have to approve your comments. But it's true. King Kratz is a piece of poo-poo.
I was
Yeah.
just getting ready to approve it when you did.
If you are interested, which I really encourage you to, watch Milbillie's videos. They're very to the point, very informative, and I always enjoy them.
Everybody show Milbillie some love.
Yes, show him his support. He's been in this case since 2005, and he has done everything in this case, basically just like me and everybody else, just trying to get the word out there. So give him some love and click on his name, and it'll take you right to his channel.
Milbillie, actually, I saw that little Misty had posted on Twitter. I think it was November 3 or November 5 dispatch calls.
I'm never on Twitter or Reddit or none of that stuff.
Yeah, she just did it yesterday, which is really good because they are awesome.
Okay, Bron, are you staying on topic? Because I'm waiting on you, love. We want to see what you can show us. People are wanting to know the distance.
I'm not on my computer. I'm on my phone.
She's
I've just
starting it up.
Okay. Just let me know when you're ready, and I'll switch over to your desktop.
Will do. Yep.
Okay, guys, we're just going to scroll down a little bit here. I'm going to show you something. So this is one of the burnt barrels on the bottom, or it's going to be a big white screen. What'd I do? I was right in the middle of looking at it. Oh. Ooh, we get to blow it up. Or enlarge it, I should say.
Oh, now come on. Thank you.
Maybe. We'll get better at this, showing the stuff as we go. We're learning. This is our first time we've ever done anything like this, you guys. So we don't know what all we can do and what we can't do on live to show and share. But I think we should call it show and tell. It's kind of like a talk show, if nothing else, where you get to do visuals too. But we'll be doing this kind of live chat on Saturday nights. And we'll go from there. It'll be something to do for those.
Popcorn?
I love popcorn.
Done.
You bring it up for everyone.
Yeah.
I wish we could share popcorn. Oh, I wish we could share it.
I know. I like the smell of popcorn.
So make Silkman share his ice creams.
I would definitely.
Silkman and his pizza.
I would definitely do that.
The doctor likes his pizza. For sure.
Yep. I like my DNA like I like my pizza.
And queso.
Cooked.
I love my queso.
Queso gets to me. We're in the ma'am reading. And I, of course, naturally with me having to get the daily videos ready, I read ahead. I can't wait for this coming week. It's going to be sensational. We get to start collecting evidence and, oh, I can't wait. Very, very interesting reads. So I'm trying to get this to let me show you guys, but you see the little circle, buffer? I hate that thing. I'm not patient enough. I wanted to show you close up of this garbage. What's that? Nothing.
Yeah. They were teasing me about, I wrote them up and a burger the other night.
You guys are making me hungry.
I had the most beautiful burger.
Tell us about it.
Aw, thank you, Robert, for being supportive.
It had cheese, bacon,
Who gets a crown? Braun, you get the crown tonight.
Me, I haven't said a cuss word all night.
Yeah, BB gets the crown for not swearing.
BB, are you okay?
I had to
Yep,
shove
we're
my
still
face
gonna
in
do a
pillow
video,
every
Robert.
once in a while.
I'm getting worried about you, BB.
Oh, I don't have
Milbillie,
that
I
virtue,
just
Jojo.
posted, your YouTube.
What's that?
Thank you.
All the love to
Give
Milbillie.
Milbillie some love.
Yep, show Milbillie love, you guys. He works hard for everybody. I've learned a lot in talking to him. One of the things I like talking to you about, Milbillie, is the past and how it connects and how this couldn't have been it didn't just start out all of a sudden in 2005. This story goes all the way back. So you guys, I want to explain this to you. Milbillie actually saw this on the news when it was happening with Steve Avery back in 2005. So did BB and so did I. And so, Milbillie, you were talking earlier tonight about this fire and this blazer in 2004, which was 1 year and a month, almost to the date of the Teresa Halbach disappearance, and how that could have possibly the only person that night that doesn't have an alibi that you can think of out of researching it was Bobby Dassey, right?
Yeah, correct.
And for those of you that don't know about Mike Osmondson, that's who Bobby's always saying he's hunting with.
On the 31st.
Yeah, except for the 31st. Now, he hunts with Mike pretty much all the other times, right, Milbillie?
According to everybody, according to what Bobby says and what Brendan said, they go goose hunting every day.
What is the season for goose hunting?
It's in the season. They would, but he claims to be going deer hunting.
Yeah, because he said he was going in the castle that we just read on Friday yesterday. That there he claimed he was bow hunting.
Yeah, which would be accurate.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Because the gun deer season doesn't start till the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the weekend before Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Okay.
Robert says, "Ain't they having a mammothon next weekend? You still gonna do a video?"
Yep.
I don't know who they are, but whatever.
Well, we pretty much do our thing and we support everybody that's getting the public awareness out there. So, it is what it is. I don't think there's any type of competition about this at all.
We're all after the same thing.
Same thing. Get these guys home and find these people accountable. Yep. Now, Zillner's job might not be to find who really did it, but I tell you, that's what I want to do.
Our job is to get Steven out of jail, not to find out who killed Teresa Halbach.
Well, living in Wisconsin, I would like to catch a killer. I'd like him off the road. Who knows what's happened since then? There have been several different researchers that have done studies on the missing people in that area since then, and there's quite a lot. Daisy Lady said she would really like to know who gave Barb the heads up to the roadkill deer.
They heard it over the police scanner.
And then they hurried out and got it? Does that sound right? I mean,
well, it was hit right around the corner.
Yeah, I suppose. It still seems weird.
Yeah, but in the official trial document, Bobby Dassey said that he actually saw the deer being hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was on the road and he saw the deer being hit.
Bobby reported that.
Because I believe there's more than one deer.
I do too. Wasn't it Joshua Redant, that claims he saw the deer on the 31st, Milbillie, in the Dassey garage?
Yep. He claimed he went to go see the deer that Bobby got that was hanging in the garage.
And that would have been the 31st.
That's what his first statement said.
Okay.
Did he actually go to see it?
That's what he said.
And that was his first statement.
But then again, you're thinking about what they reported. You don't actually see the actual police report.
That's
when they
very
talk to
important.
people.
Also, we've got to remember we're not getting an affidavit from the individual. So it's not a statement that the individual wrote themselves. It's what the reporter is reporting. And proof in that is when in the CASO, we just got done also, or no, that'll be coming up. So a little spoiler alert for the daily read for next week. They're talking to Jason Zipper and they're doing the report. And at one point, instead of typing Jason, they type Bobby.
Oh, what?
Yep.
Oh,
Absolutely. They literally
I
type
can't hear you. I
Bobby's
missed it.
word. Well, they're doing the report about Jason Zipper. So the interview is with Jason Zipper. And they're questioning him about where his father was. And he's explaining that his father from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. was in the work site in Manitowoc on some street. And when they're typing the report, it was Dietering, of course. Dietering's doing the interview with Jason Zipper about where his dad was on the 31st. He accidentally in the report types Bobby instead of Jason.
Oh, wow.
Was Bobby bow hunting alone, Milbillie? Jeannie wants to know.
According to him, he was.
yeah.
Now, from my experience of being around hunters, when you bow hunt, you do prefer to be alone. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So that would be fitting of that time frame.
It also depends on where you're going hunting, too.
Well, wasn't he supposed to be going with Mike, but Mike's mom wanted him at the last minute?
He supposedly took his brother
little brother's thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But still it was an alibi for the time. Well, he supposedly picked his little brother up from school, too.
Yeah.
But then again, they didn't really investigate Michael, so we don't know anything. Oh, yeah, it was just stating that he was there on the 10th when he couldn't have been.
Yeah, he couldn't have been there. It was a crime scene.
He claimed that he heard about it that Tuesday prior on the news.
Well, and then Rodant claims that he saw the deer on the 31st, but when the investigators start busting in on the properties on the 5th after the RAV, they bust into Steven Avery's garage and they find the Suzuki. But then when they go to the Dassey garage, they find the deer hanging.
Boy, as warm as it was, that would have been one rotten deer carcass.
Well, it would have started, getting to smell even in that if it was that warm.
Would have been a rotten deer carcass.
Yeah. 5 days hanging in the heat? No. That's not something you're going to cut up and put in your freezer.
There's lots of it in the burn barrel.
Okay. So.
A wonderful picture of Google and
I'm still on this, by the way, Ducky. I'm having a lot of trouble with my Wi-Fi. So
all right, that's okay. We'll do that next time. We've got next Saturday. What I'm looking up, you guys, is about the Halbach VIN number being tampered with, because we've been talking. Who gets their crown? BB already has it. BB, give your crown up. I'll take it. I got the crown now. Okay, you guys.
What are you talking about?
Every time the phone goes off, we switch the crown. The crown. Somebody gets to wear a crown because it sounds like somebody gets crowned. Dun 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 dun. Okay. All right. On the tampered VIN number on Teresa's RAV4 alone. All right. So we know in the trial document that we have a tampered VIN. And let me scroll down to get to that. I can show you or not. I just have way too many windows open, you guys. Everything's like not responding. But the VIN number was outright said to be tampered with. And the trial.
Lady said Bobby would have gotten the deer immediately. And she also said Barb would not have to tell him.
Let me see where.
We all heard
That's
that.
damage. Huh?
Yeah, I
We all
heard it.
heard you say that.
Give up that clown.
Yeah, now.
Yeah. that's
Well,
what
I
it is.
can't
I
find
get
it right
back.
now.
I
Of
get it.
course. Yeah. What? All I'm doing is scrolling, looking for where it said about the tampered. Yeah. So this is, you guys are seeing some of the boards that we're going to be working on for the mini mams. So that was one thing I wanted to share. But when you look at this, you guys, the whole concept that we're looking at a staged event for the RAV, I think we're all at that point. So when you look at the fact that we have a tampered, moved or tampered with, then here's my question. If the VIN has been plucked off for some reason and the killer is trying to make it take longer, stall, so that you don't know this is Teresa's RAV4, the VIN number would have been gone. The plate would have been gone, but it's not. The VIN number is actually, the VIN plate is actually loose on the dashboard. So the thing that comes to mind is that they can't reattach it to the dash. There's no way back. So what are they doing? Are they taking, they seize the green RAV, the dark green on the 3rd, and then they go and put a different vehicle, a staged event on Steven's property. Did they basically pull that VIN number that was loose off her dash and throw it on the dash, or pull it off her dash, pluck it off, and just leave it loose in this new RAV? That's my question, because we go from all the family is calling it dark green. We're looking for my daughter's dark green. Now we got an Avery property. What do we got? Blue vehicle. What do we got when we're in the lab? Blue vehicle. We don't have green after that. And you see Kratz trying to make his story fit the narrative. He's actually switching the color right in front of the jury's eyes. He even brings it up a little bit.
Wants to know if the VIN number tampering was established at the trial.
Yes. Yes. In fact, it was an investigator that stated it and even used the words, the VIN was tampered with, as his explanation.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Here's a picture, you guys, of the hood latch. There's another big conversation we could be having, how that happened. But I want to mention my theory. It's not just my theory. It's just a theory that I've chosen to stay with. So I haven't thought this up on my own or anything. But the one that I choose to understand is the one where they've taken the Grand Am of Stevens. It's got blood in it. They take it to the crime lab. They take it in the same transport as the RAV together. Now, Milbillie, you have a point on this about there was something the investigator said about not being able to, you shouldn't do that or something about other vehicles with the RAV.
Yeah, Pagel.
Okay, so Sheriff Pagel.
Oh, what are you referring to?
Well,
exactly?
Yeah.
I think there was a part.
Pagel said that, don't you remember, Milbillie, we were talking about it one night? Pagel said that they shouldn't have been housed together. Remember? They had to be separate containers or separate.
They're talking to Pagel about what they should do with the golf cart and the wrecker or the loader.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
if they should put them with the other vehicles. And he's like, wait, no, they should not be stored together.
No,
and then he talks about getting storage containers shipped in.
And did he give a reason why he didn't want them shipped together at all?
No.
No, he just said he didn't want them. Okay.
Pretty much just moved on.
Okay. Well, I find that interesting. He doesn't want them shipped with the RAV, but yet the Grand Am, Stephen's Grand Am, which has his fresh blood in it because he's actively bleeding. Obviously, he's got blood in the bathroom sink, all that. He's actively bleeding on the gear shift and other places in his Grand Am. They seized the Grand Am on the same day as the RAV, correct?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Because they went to Crivets to get the Grand Am.
Right. They actually get a search warrant. Hold on a minute. I want to make this. This is a big point. Very crucial. pay attention to this. They actually got search warrants to search the vehicles in Crivets before they had one search warrant anywhere near the Avery property. So they go up there, they grab that Grand Dam, it has blood in it. They take that Grand Dam, throw it in the same storage facility.
Well, they take it to Marinette first.
Okay.
Along with Record, because Chucky was worried about them damaging it, so he drove it to Marinette himself, and then they gave him a ride back.
Okay. So the Grand Dam, which has Steven's fresh blood in it, gets taken to the crime lab. And guess where the RAV is parked? Right near the Grand Dam. So you have one person that is doing all the evidence swabbing. Who's that, Mr. Silkman?
It's our good friend Cherie Colhane.
Correct.
I don't think he is your good friend.
So we have the possibility here of what I would think, and this is the theory that I personally am very comfortable with. Doesn't mean that this is how you guys feel, but I'll share it, is that we have Sherry Colhan standing between the Grand Dam and the victim's car. So we have the suspect's car and we have the victim's car. Now we all know that that does not look right the way that's applied, how the blood got on the ignition. It doesn't fit somebody starting the vehicle and being able to draw that kind of artwork. He would have to be Picasso. It looks like somebody has used a buccal swab to apply it. Even Zellner agrees. Tests have been done by armchair sleuths all over the place, where if you take basically a Q-tip out of your bathroom and some red ketchup, you can do the same damn thing, or dang thing. You can soups. I swore. You can see. Sorry, guys. Yeah, you can squiggle that mark and make that squiggly look just like what we see in the RAV. So you got Sherry standing between vehicles. Who's to say she didn't wet her buccal swab with some saline solution or distilled water, swipe up that little blood that's in Steven Avery's Grand Dam, go over and do the reverse swab, which is basically apply the blood to the RAV. And there you got it.
Just as he doesn't think that Dean and Jerry even laid eyes on the RAV.
What's that?
Just as he doesn't think that Dean and Jerry even laid eyes on the RAV.
Here's that Grand Dam we were talking about.
All they see was pictures.
And Jam and Joe says, no dislikes, glad to see no trolls, flash our party.
Yeah, really. We don't usually get trolls on our channel too much. Okay, you guys, I did pull up this. This is a picture of Steven's Grand Dam.
Jeff wants to talk about how long did it take for the RAV to get from Steve Avery to the crime lab?
Ooh, great topic.
That's a good one.
Milbillie's answered 4.5 hours, but it should have taken about 2.
And
Isn't it?
if you have a police escort, why in the world would it take that long? And furthermore, Milbillie, you've got to address a part to where who is the one that does the transportation?
Paul Roberts, the Maribel Fire Chief.
So the Maribel Fire Chief shows up on property, and then
Fire Chief.
as Fire Chief, and then he puts on a different hat, right?
And he leaves and then comes back about an hour later as a tow company.
I feel like we're on Sesame Street here. It's just so unorthodox.
It's as bad as it gets.
Thank you.
So to summarize, Rubberducky, there was the opportunity and means to transplant the blood from the Grand Dam onto the RAV4.
Well,
into the RAV4.
And another thing, when we're at trial, Buting, I believe it was Buting, it might have been Strain, one of them is addressing Sherry Colhane on the stand and says, isn't it true you had the highest error rate amongst all technicians? And she said, yes, but that's because I do the most, right?
Oh,
We later then have the same crime lab that Sherry Culhane's working at. It's found out that they were under investigation in 2006, not a third party, but an audit of their own. And they have a fired individual that had been drunk at work. And what's interesting is they state that the person was fired for having the highest error rate amongst the technicians. So I'll let you guys do the 1 + 1 = 2. But if this individual turned out to be the same one, it'd be interesting to find out why. She is the only one. Sherry Culhane is the only one that touches the Steve Avery evidence. She's the lead head investigator, or I should not investigator, well, kind of the lab. What do you call that? Forensic technician?
James says Derek Culhane is swabbing both the cars. That's called getting an under the table cut for the rescuing Manitowoc County from the $36 million judgment liability.
Well,
someone in the lab fired for drunkenness.
Well, I will tell you this. I doubt she got a cut because she's the reason he's out. See, she played a part in 1985. We have the same lab tech go on to the trial in 1985. She has to use, at that time, there isn't this high DNA, high sensitivity DNA testing. So she has to use her eyeball and a magnifying, a microscope to do a hair comparison. And she identifies that the hair, the pubic hair found on Penny Bernstein's shirt, I believe it was, matched Steven Avery's hair. So 18 years in prison, he goes. Well, Innocent Project gets a hold of this whole thing, and they're able to convince through hearings that we don't get now of this new testing should be done. And Sherry Culhane's hand is forced. She is required to do a reevaluation of that hair using the new DNA.
They don't know the cases when they do that. They just are giving the samples like you test this and tell me what you find out.
Actually, no, it's not a blind test in this case. She knew exactly whose hair she was testing, but she exonerates him by doing that test, but she takes 1 year extra before she'll send the email to release him. To release the test results. She sits on it and languishes for a year. And yet the state has the audacity to say that Zellner's languishing in court. Lordy. So Culhane finally does that. Well, lo and behold, 2005 comes along. We have 3 state crime labs in Wisconsin with hundreds of lab technicians that would be certified to be able to do the job. Who do they pick?
Yeah.
You got it.
Big head.
Big hair lady.
Stephanie's asking what's going on and if something happened. No, we have started doing this Saturday night.
Yeah, we're basically on Saturday nights.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, it's Saturday Night Ma'am Live. We basically do this on a regular basis and thought, why not bring in the rest of you guys so that you get a chance to just push around any general topic you want about the case. And we get to have you participate. Yes?
Rubberducky.
Yes.
I'm getting a lot of comments.
I've got a link on.
We understand, Dr. Silkman. We thank you very much. I'm just looking at somebody's artwork. Oh, wait. Silkman, before you go, since you were on the JFK case for 25 years, do you see this? It's Brendan Dassey, and it's Wiegert, and it says, John F. Kennedy? Yeah, I killed him. Poor Brendan, Lord.
You're getting a lot of comments. You should maybe cruise through them a little bit.
Okay, sorry. I forget we're on live because I'm
piling up.
It's so used to our...
Very interesting comments here. Can I just read some out, please?
Yes, please.
towed Barb's burned car in 2004? And Milbillie answered, Rabbits Towing. Sorry if I pronounced names incorrectly. And Jeff's response was, same guy, what a coincidence.
Right.
Because we all say, lol, along with Milbillie.
James,
Okay,
to
in a
James, that
nutshell.
was for James, that was established at trial. That the
Okay,
VIN
right.
number was
So-
tampered with, was established at trial through an investigator.
Sorry, can you say what was established, just in case people are...
The VIN number was tampered with, was established at trial.
Another one here.
Coroner, people are
don't-
talking about the coroner.
Can I just...
About her not being let on the property.
And
There's
don't
one a
forget,
little
she
bit
was also
further up.
pulled off carbon boot walls.
Yes, as well.
Can
Yeah.
I just keep reading? There's one up further. Don't forget the county reported Teresa Holbrook murdered shortly after being reported missing. Milbillie corrected that and said kidnapped, reported November 3rd. I actually do have an explanation for that, which is from someone who has worked in dispatch and worked quite closely in that sort of area. Apparently, although it would be considered best practice and in fact correct to start a new report when facts of a case change, apparently it is common practice to simply continue on with the same report. And what happens is they go back and change information. So someone in their wisdom would have changed missing to kidnapped, presumably, and then presumably I don't know why they haven't changed it to dead, but they still haven't, apparently, because their social security.
There is a
still
report on
isn't
the
checked.
3rd that she is dead. There's an incident
Well,
report
I
on the
thought so
3rd.
too. I thought so too, but I wasn't going to comment on that.
It is. It does say
I thought it
incident
was
death.
well.
Definitely
Yes, and
does.
that's what Holly C and I were talking about at the time. And she said it's actually quite common that people will go back and correct information as more information becomes available.
Right.
Whereas technically they shouldn't do that. They should actually start a new report when more information. So, but it is common practice.
Jam and Joe is talking to Jeannie, and he does make a great point. He says they block the coroner at every turn. If it smells like a skunk, well, you know the answer to that. And then James says,
requesting a coroner on the 9th.
yes. Milbillie, can you find that and play that for us?
It's in the dispatch logs. It's not an actual recording.
Okay,
Yeah, no, it's-
but we have it to where on the 9th, they are requesting.
Around 7:30, but it's reported at 9 something.
Yeah, they had no authority to take her off her job. That's why this whole thing stinks to high heaven. There are too many people in this case that are really behaving poorly for it not to have the state's hand in it some way. I also think it's interesting, and this is never spoken about nowadays, but we did find out that shortly after Ma'am came out, a gag order got put in place on all kinds of Manitowoc people. So when Ma'am came out, a court order happens. Now you can go and you can look it up. I'm not going to give you the link to it because I don't need to get in any more trouble. I'm just going to let you know there is a court case out there. It will show a list of names a mile long, but it doesn't tell you what the court case is regarding. But back after Ma'am won, it was just a few months after it, we found out that there was a gag order put in place on Colburn and Link and all kinds of important people related to the case. And so when we ask questions like, how come they're not talking? Who put this huge court order? That was one of the things we always wanted to know. Who put the gag order on the county? So that's a big question I have, but there was a gag order on there. And This is Lynn Kaczynski. Now, he's the guy that was Brendan's lawyer for a while. He's the one where we find in the notes on his shorthand writing at the bottom of one of his notes, it said body measurement dig site, which I'm saying very slowly for you guys.
Very well done.
Yes, thank you. Dig site. And then it says salvage yard, but it never names the salvage yard. And you think, well, why wouldn't we know it's the Avery's? No, we don't. Redance owned a salvage yard. There's also a salvage yard just very near Avery's as well as the undersheriff, Robert Herman, and his brother Todd. They actually both have been in the police force for a long time. They own or are the president of Cleveland Auto Salvage or Sales and Salvage. They have a salvage yard. And guess where that salvage yard located? On the way to the crime lab. So if you take your map and you pinpoint Avery's, and then on the other side of the map, you put your destination, which is the crime lab, along that way, you're going to pass right through the area of Robert Herman's Cleveland Auto Sales and Salvage. So if we're missing 2.5 hours and we're looking for a place where they can quietly mess around with this vehicle that they've set up, the staged event, they would have had coverage there at the Cleveland Auto Sales. So, I mean, the opportunity is there. I'm not saying they took it. I'm just saying the opportunity was there for them to pull over, put it in a garage. They'd have 2 hours to mess around with that RAV any way they wanted before it goes to the crime lab. And then this is something interesting too, and this is off the RAV, but I want to talk about this real quick. So I don't know how many of you have a large outside dog, but if you have a size of a German Shepherd and you're going to chain them to a doghouse, let me tell you, you're going to have a heavy chain. And your dog is going to pace because of the means of a dog. They're going to pace in a circular radius around their reaching point. And when they do that, that chain is going to drag over that yard hundreds of times a day. And if anybody's ever had a dog on a chain, it will disintegrate the grass and it will become a large circular radius of no grass. Guess what we see? We see a doghouse that was Bear's, who's a German Shepherd that's on a chain. Youst looks over, thinks it looks interesting over there, and then claims that the bones washed up because of the rain over there. I tell you that I think it looks interesting to Youst because it's missing grass from a dog chain. And what bones do we find there? We don't find any human bones in Steven Avery's pit. None. We find them in a burn barrel. So what they pulled out of the bones that they're pulling out of this pit are animal bones. Well, what do you feed an animal? Your dog. If you're just a rural country boy, you get done with supper, you're going to scrape all your dishes into a big pan, and you're going to take it out there and you're going to dump it. So you're going to have ham bones, you're going to have chicken bones, you're going to have pot roast bones, you're going to have all kinds of bones. Deer bones, whatever. I mean, we don't personally feed deer bones to our dogs.
One was a chicken. One was a chicken wing.
Yeah, one of them looked like a chicken bone.
It was a chicken wing in the box of bones that they took in that were, the suspicious bones. One was actually a chicken wing.
And, you know, if you were the killer, would you have been sitting around like this with Brendan and Steven watching the news, hoping to God they found this girl? I'd have been packing my bags to get the heck out of there if I was a killer. I just wouldn't sit still and wait idly. It's just too innocent of them to be sitting there. Oh, here's that picture you were talking about earlier, Milbillie. So here's a picture of the two ladies walking out of the prison with Steven. Milbillie, which one of these is Marie Avery?
Well, Chase is the skinny one.
They're both in glasses, love.
The Chase is the one in black and white.
One on the right.
Okay. So that's interesting there. Look at this. Do you think we're looking at the same garage? Because we have the Suzuki in it one time, and then another time I look at the picture, and it's got a maroon car in it. So why do we have two different vehicles seen in, look at him. Just look at that. He looks like whatever. Whatever. I can't swear, so I'm not going to look at his
No, I
picture.
don't want to. Don't make me.
Look at him, BB.
No, I was good. I had the crown. Don't look at him. You were bad. You said cuss words.
I did. I said two. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Not to even mention how the hand, I mean, face it, you guys. In this situation, we have a family that is not actively trying to find out why the bones they were given is now the state is saying that they basically could be animal bones. Wouldn't the family turn around and be like, what? But we hear nothing. Nothing.
The chicken wing was in the bag they gave the family.
Oh, that's
Why would somebody have broke all the glass out of this, moved all the glass away, and then put the plates in? And they were folded. So this is a picture after they found them, and they put them back. Because they were folded into threes of the license plate.
So the police staged that.
Yes, absolutely. They admit themselves that when they found it, it was folded into thirds. In that picture, it has been opened. So, very interesting. Well, you guys, it's 10:30, so I think we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you guys for joining us. And if you want to do this again,
maybe look at some questions.
Okay, we can do that before we head out.
Rubberducky. I can share my screen if anyone does want to see instances. I can video quite quickly.
Okay.
I can't talk.
All right.
So if anyone wants to type in from here to here, I can do that, but I can't talk. So I just need for people to read the distance if anyone wants to.
I'm trying to catch up with chat real quick.
It's up to you.
It's flowing so fast. I'm trying to, while you do that if you want, get ready. I will show it in just a minute. I'm going to catch a couple questions real quick or statements. Let's see. I'll try to scroll up. You kind of caught up finally. All right. James Barlow states, Halbach's brother was dating the sister of the Manitowoc County guy, Jason Youst, he means, who was left alone to guard the barrels where electronic stuff was found, and now they're married. Also, you guys, that was exactly the time frame that Ryan Hillegas and Scott Blodorn show up on the log, on the sign in and out log, on the crime scene. So they're supposed to be civilians. No civilians are supposed to be allowed on the property. However, Ryan and Scott Blodorn.
Ryan used a different name?
In that situation, no, it is Hillegas. But he does on the crime lab list out Killigas one time, which
yeah.
There's a little thing about that where
different time that he was on the crime scene.
Yeah. And then let's see, what else do we want to talk about? Robert says this whole case is nothing but jealousy. Everyone is on the setup because Steven was going to be in on some money. Yeah. I don't think we would have seen anywhere close to 36 million, but probably about 5 million, I would imagine. Jam and Joe says, King Kratz is the epitome of a narcissist, bar none. Talking about the bar, he never had to pass the bar exam. So, you know, there you go with that. Okay. Daisy Lady states evidence custodian Jeremy Hawkins even wrote up a special report outlining the funky barrel business. Yep. And please, again, check out Milbillie's page. He's got a lot of excellent videos on there. Share some love with him. Now let's scroll down, see. And I'm trying, there's so many comments. I apologize if I'm missing yours. I certainly am not intending to. I'll scroll down a little bit further. And we did answer James' question. Yes, the VIN number is established in the trial as tampered. Investigation, they do say that.
Why are there no photos of it? None.
Yeah, why don't we see that VIN number, you guys?
There's so many different places they could take a photo of it, and they have none. None.
And why don't we
Zero.
have any sort of report where they verify that VIN number on the actual, even compared to the engine block or any other, isn't there like 8 places that a VIN number appears on a vehicle?
Multiple places.
Multiple, we'll leave it at that, depending on what vehicle. And we don't ever see a report where they're like, yep, the VIN number compares to here. We don't see any of the victim's DNA in the vehicle. We don't see any of the victim's fingerprints in the vehicle. We have basically a spattering of a very minute amount of blood in the back. And I say that because all of us have had kids that have busted their heads open on the sidewalk or something, and they come running in and it's a head wound and there is blood everywhere. Your house is like blood, blood, blood. So there really isn't that much blood there. Not enough to deem someone dead.
No, I'd say it's only like a tube's worth of blood.
Yeah,
A
probably
blood
like a vial of blood.
Yeah. Oh.
Let me see if we're missing anything. Okay, Daisy Lady says, and don't forget that they had Marinette County Sheriff got to the cabin way too quick to interview Essay less than an hour after the RAB was found. They were ready for this. James,
And don't forget,
go ahead.
Officer is Detective O'Neill. That's his name. And he's also from Manitowoc area. Coincidence? I think not.
There are no coincidences in this case. If there were, it would literally be a coincidence that we have this many coincidences. I've had enough of the coincidences. I'm going to now use the word no more. It's now suspicious. You know, instead of coincidence, I think it's suspicious. That's my word. And people say, well, isn't it strange? Isn't it crazy? No, it's suspicious is what it is. It's suspicious. It's nefarious too in so many cases.
One coincidence maybe. 2, 3, you're crazy. It's not a coincidence.
Yeah, but in this case, how many coincidences do we really have?
We're like at 1,117 or something.
Yeah, don't you guys find it interesting that the CASO is 1,116 pages? That's a CASO?
Nope, 17.
No,
Hold
yeah,
on.
that's
Let me
17.
make my point. No,
you got to start off with there's 3 pages missing.
Yeah, true. But the version that everybody was given.
Well, after December 6th of 2016, that's when page 1117 was added.
Truth. Let's see. James Barlow states, same is true of the current AG, son of the established corrupt Lockenschlager. That is true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That our attorney general did not come forward that he was the son of Peg Lockenschlager until he got the job.
Mr. Call.
Yeah, it wasn't until the next day after they inaugurated him that said that he was Peg's son.
Well, I find it very strange that his running mate that lost his job is now a judge.
Right. Jeff Corona
Right, sure.
says, at RD was the same gag order that seized all the flyover footage from the news. I don't know. Probably. I mean, I'm just guessing. That's all it is a guess. Daisy says also Cleveland Salvage Yard also had a crusher. Yes, they did. And they had a smelter. Milbillie, you wrote on here about the DCI. Paging the corner. Hey, Rebecca, good to see you. No, I haven't heard much from King Kratz lately, or Scott, or Barb, or anybody. It just has gotten quiet. 348 Loaded Lover wrote.
Bratz has been quiet also.
348 Loaded Lover Road. When we butcher our deer, we just throw the bones out in the woods in a pile. I'm from Manitowoc. Yep, we do the same. We have a normal haunt, we always go to the same area to dump our bones. And we figure the animals will clean them. Yeah. Isn't it weird, James? I agree. The family isn't even remotely outraged they were given back animal bones. Jeff says, what a great live. Yeah, we just thought we do this all the time. And wouldn't it be nice to be able to share it with you guys? There's a lot of you that don't have the ability to get on Discord. And so we thought we'd bring it to you guys. So we're going to do a general chat. We're going to call it Saturday Night Puddle Chat. And we're going to come on lives on Saturday nights. And we invite you to join us every time you get a chance. And we do try to grab what you guys are saying and bring you into the conversation so that, who knows, somebody might have fresh eyes on something. Even if you're new, don't be afraid to state stuff, because what seems obvious might be something that we haven't looked at in a while and we need to review it, or it could be something one of us just has never noticed. So, all right, now I'm going to take you over to Braun.
Really, yeah, no, I just can't do it. It's just not working today. Sorry.
It's
So
not working?
until next week.
All right. Well, we'll
No,
work
I'm
that
not
out
sure.
and we'll try to get to where we
Yeah.
can do the links. All right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Milbillie, thank you so much for coming on this. And everybody, please show Milbillie love. Go over to his channel if you would. And he's got very short videos, but they're to the point. They're clean. And they really show a lot of good knowledge. And thank you all for staying with us, too. We got a lot of good things coming up. We've got the Daily Ma'am will be continuing on. I've already got the 5 videos for this week. I've already got those ready to roll, so we're ready for that. We have Mini Ma'am coming up.
Oh, Brandon Maddox is in the comments.
Brandon Maddox. Hi, Brandon. Good to see you. Brandon has been so supportive in this case, you guys. Make sure, go to his channel, listen to his music. He's the one that has written Man Up Manitowoc. That's one of his newest songs, as well as Time Will Tell on You, one of my very classic favorites. When I heard that song the first time, I cried because I felt it applied to he didn't write it. He explained he didn't write it exactly with this case specifically in mind, but it just fits so well. And he's given us, a lot of us YouTubers, the right to be able to use that in our videos. And we do. And that song, Time Will Tell on You, it's true. It's true. So, all right, guys.
So much for everyone contributing. It has been really, really good to interact with people and
I love this.
Brandon, you should make your way over to Discord.
Yeah, if you guys do want to continue to chat, we do have Discord for those that can do that. You're welcome to come into the Puddle Chat. I think, BB, can you share Puddle Chat link or something?
Give me a minute.
Yeah, we'll give her a minute to get that chat ready. But the amount of support out there from the YouTubers and from the musicians and from those that have credentials like Scooby and Silkman, it's incredible. And what I can say is, whether you're like me, you're just a normal little housewife jumping in the case, or you've got credentials, either way, if you are bringing public awareness to this case, you are helping protect Steven and Brendan, because the world's watching.
And not just Steven and Brendan, it's future people and people that have also been convicted.
Yes.
They're not the only ones.
What they do to the least of us, they could do to the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
True. I do get mailed on a regular basis from a lot of those people that are fighting for others that are wrongfully convicted. And there is a case out there about Johnny that I did read recently, and I promised that I would begin to share a little bit publicly. So he ended up being in a situation to where he was self-defense. And I know it sounds cut and dry in the beginning, but once you dig into the case, It's quite clear that we're suffering from the same type of situation. There is DNA evidence that will prove his innocence, but the state is not allowing the evidence to come forth. So that's where we run into problems. When we get situations to where the evidence itself will tell a different story, we have to ask, why then is the evidence being withheld? At what means is it any good for them to continue to keep an innocent person behind bars? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, $36 million is a lot of money. But let me tell you something. This little Ice Age trail in Wisconsin that leads through Manitowoc on the very outer skirts near the Lake Michigan, $14 million was given for a walking trail. Suck it up, pay the $36 million, get over it. It's ridiculous for this many people on this planet to obviously know that this is a staged event and that you're playing games with our people is ridiculous. If you have any morals in your fiber of your being as a political figure and you have pull, start stepping forward, because your time ends someday too. We all leave this planet. We all have to face a maker. And believe me, those people that are doing this are going to pay the price. Karma comes back around. All right, I'm off my soapbox. Sorry, I just get upset.
Okay, I posted that link.
Oh, thank you.
I had someone contact me as well, who's been wrongfully convicted, 2 brothers, and their mother was also pulled into it, and they're in prison. And it was so like the Steven Avery case. It's not funny. All the evidence was actually, it was actually worse. It was so planted.
What's the name, Braun?
Pardon?
What's the name of the person?
It goes under the name the Shriver Brothers.
Okay.
And they're in Oklahoma.
Well, that way, if people are interested in that, they have something. That would be great if you could share that.
Facebook page. Yeah, once things settle down a bit, once we've got probably the next court.
Yeah.
You know, once we got through the next court bit.
Well, we're still waiting on the circuit court to respond here. State talked out of turn, didn't even have the talking stick. So
once that happens, then there'll probably be a bit of a gap, I imagine.
Does anybody else notice, just a question for an overall group question to everybody on the live here. Does anybody else notice that we really honestly have seen like the mute button from the guilters recently? There's a few stragglers still running their mouth, but when we started this case back after the first ma'am, they would throw it in our face about the bullet. Well, now we've got no bone or blood on the bullet. I mean, what are we talking? Did the victim spit on the bullet? Seriously. So the bullet's not something they can talk about. Then we look at the bones. The bones we have a problem with. Steven Avery's not going to do everything right in his backyard and in the quarry and then gather all that up and be like, well, I'm going to bring it all home so it absolutely points to me. That'll never happen. So now they can't talk about the bones. Talk about the key. What a joke that is. We got Colburn literally quoted by Karczynski in his report as concentrating on the nightstand, alone with the nightstand, on the 5th. And I'm sorry, you're right, Milbillie. Thank you, on the 6th. So Colburn has his opportunity if he does have that key, the valet key that doesn't even appear to be used, that has no DNA from the victim on it, even though it's her key, let alone the lanyard. I mean, really?
My question is, why would you leave the lanyard and take the key?
Yeah.
Take the lanyard with the key.
If you're the killer, would you leave anything behind like that? No. You wouldn't. You'd get rid of it. And then,
I have wondered, with regard to the to people who believe that he is guilty, I have wondered whether they are feeling vindicated because the state is answering things now.
Uh,
And they're feeling like the state is on their side, so they don't have to keep answering.
the state's
for
been
them.
on their side the whole time, Braun. Not. I guess I'll agree to disagree. I respect you, and
Well,
that might be a
No,
very
I mean,
valid
not
point.
Talking, though.
This is the
Talking,
first
but now
time
we're
ever.
hearing from the state.
I think it's because Zellner's debunking all the evidence. They're running out of things to talk on. Think about it. What do we have left?
I think so too.
The
state is actually, they've talked themselves against a brick wall, haven't
Yeah,
they?
they've talked themselves into a corner. And I
There
went
is
up ahead.
nothing more to raise.
Yeah. I went head to head with the Gilter the other day.
Nothing but a theory.
I went to head to head with the Gilter the other day, about a month ago. I spent 2 hours alone with him. And I said, listen to me. What's it going to take for me to get you to relax on this? And he said, if you can explain the blood in the RAV4, you've got me. I came back. I told him a theory that I shared tonight. Like I said, it's not only my theory. I didn't create it. I'm just saying I've adopted it because somebody else made amazing points, which is that we've got the Grand Dam, we have the RAV, both sitting in a crime lab. We have one person standing literally between the two vehicles swabbing. Is it possible? Is it without a reasonable doubt that this individual could have simply put a distilled water on that Q-tip, collected the fresh blood of Steve Avery that we know is in the Grand Dam, simply turned and put it in the other vehicle, the RAV, and they came back and they had changed their name because they had on there Steven Avery was guilty, and they came back with something like unsure or on the fence or something like that. But the point is, the Gilters are running out of things that they can stand on. And as Zellner says, what legs left?
Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. 348 Loaded Lever states this case is falling apart. Maybe that Dexter type guy is working for the Manitowoc Police Department. Don't know.
Manitowoc Sheriff's Department, not Police Department, Sheriff's Department.
Yep.
Okay.
People always get this. Not the
I agree with you, Jeannie.
Sheriff's Department.
Daisy Lady says the one picture shows the.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
At all.
8 calls.
Okay, you guys, before we wrap up here, I just want to read one more statement.
You guys understand why that is, don't you?
What? Understand what is? I didn't hear it.
And everybody ran up.
Yes.
You're cutting out, Braun, terribly, dear. You're cutting out, hon. We're only hearing like maybe every fifth word. Daisy Lady writes, the one police shows the huge white cylinder, which is filled with gas. I don't think that has been brought up enough. It could have blown if it was, yeah. So did you guys hear what Daisy said?
Yeah.
Yeah, if there was a big fire at that behind the garage, you have, is that a propane tank?
That was not me.
All right, guys.
So international.
I think
No, the whole
everybody's kind of cutting out. I think Discord's getting a little overwhelmed right now. Yeah.
I don't understand the system.
Fair enough.
There, I heard that, Braun. I heard fair enough. The rest of it was like, blah, blah, blah. Sorry. Okay, guys.
Yeah, you've been cutting out a lot too, Ducky, on mine.
Yeah. It's, you know, it is what it is. But, okay, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up. It's almost 11 o'clock. Go ahead and ask your last questions if you have any.
We're going to go over to the puddle room.
Sure. You posted that earlier, didn't you? Yep, you posted it. If you want to scroll up, BB's got the Discord chat there, and we can do Q&A or just talk. Whoops, I'm on my keyboard.
Brittini, why are you back on? I thought you had gone out. Or are you back?
He's back.
Tony's back.
Oh, he said there's no huge bonfire, Scott lied. I wonder why.
Well, can I go on a Scott rant before we leave? We've got 6 minutes till 11. Can I go on a Scott, please?
Is 6 minutes enough?
Maybe.
6 minutes enough?
Okay, you guys, this is a Rubberducky moment, okay? I've never done this. I'm just going to throw this out there.
Leave with the Rubberducky rant.
Yeah,
Wants to
I hate
have
that word, but I'm
something
just going to go with it. All right, I'm going to start. And you guys feel free to jump in. Okay, Scott Tadich has no alibi for the night that Teresa Hallbach goes missing because he was supposed to go to work and he's a no call, no show. No explanation where his time has gone. His trailer got pulled off the site, marked by Link as abandoned and taken to Wausau, and later gets burnt to the ground. Another one, Scott, his vehicle is seen at noonish around lunch, right at noon, Selner reports, by an eyewitness at the Dassey residence on the 31st, which is approximately 11:40 something is when Teresa phones that residence saying that she's looking for help to get there. Clarification of that. Scott Tadich has went on and he has used foul language against Ms. Zellner in a public format, which shows that he honestly doesn't know how to behave properly and where good lines and bad lines are. Another one, the dark web, or whatever you want to call it, these nasty, nasty, horrible, depraved pictures, they walk in the door the same time Scott Tadich does. And if we have a 19-year-old boy, where is the dark web prior to that point? When he hit puberty, his hormones are raging. Nope. According to everything that we read, it just appears out of nowhere, full force, obsession with all this depraved dark web crap. I'm guessing Scott Tadich did his laundry over at the Yonda residence because co-worker states that Scott Tadich got a phone call, became very panicked, and stated to the co-worker, I need to go now. The Dassey boys' clothes got switched up with mine or mixed with mine, and there's blood involved. He then leaves. That teenager that called could have been one of the Dassey boys. Who do you think it would be? Most likely Bobby. Next, when you look at Scott Tadich.
Barb claims it was her. Barb claims.
Yeah, Barb did claim it was her. Next, let's talk about the green Ford Ranger that Scott drives. What do we have? We have hunters calling in a green Ford Ranger parked with a man in waiters. Where are they calling it from? Right around that area where the Two River bend in the road, the turnaround is. Where's the RAV pointed? Where are people saying they see the RAV? Right in that area. Where did Scott Tadich's trailer, where was it located? Right down from where they saw that RAV.
Oh,
Why?
So the electronics,
Which ones?
the one that was found, the paperwork and the electronics was found.
Right. Great point, BB. We have a burner phone. So this is a disposable type phone, basically, that is found. And if you had, let's say that you're in contact with somebody that is pulling strings to get this whole case set up. Okay, let's say you're planting the RAV. You need to be in contact to make sure that you know where the RAV is. You may get a burner phone and then submerge it in water so that it never works again. Who knows? We find the AudioVox phone and paperwork right on the turnaround area in the ditch. So there's another one. How about all the lies that he's told in the trial? This fire has went from the beginning when we don't have a fire. And he couldn't remember, he didn't know the Dassey boys' names. Yeah. Well, we've also had another Dassey boy say that his mother, Barb, was actually seeing Scott Tadich well before October. We actually have Scott Tadich kind of come into the picture behind the scenes at the same time that Miss Hallbach works for Auto Trader. Now, here's a point for you guys. If this is Teresa making this call that she cannot find the residence to the Tadich or to the Dassey home, why would you not call the office receptionist and have her look the file up and say, hey, where's that address? Why would you just hope that the individual got the call in time enough that you make the appointment right when they're available? That's always strange to me. And we're missing the whole, hi, so-and-so. So when I call your home, I would be like, hey, Mrs. Smith, this is Ducky, and I'm calling to do this, blah, blah, blah. I would address the person. I wouldn't just be like, hey, this is Ducky, and I'm going to be coming to your place if you call me back. No. There's too many things with that. Scott Tadich has been running around picking up his cigarette butts because he states he doesn't want Zellner to have his DNA. For real.
Many people have said after like those, what do you call them, rallies, that they've seen him picking up his cigarette butts and putting them in his pocket.
And before we go, the last thing I want to ask, and it's a good question, and this will send you all looking. Here you go. I want to know where Scott Tadich was supposedly hunting, who owned the land. Because if it turns out to be Randit's land, that puts him down in the quarry. And it also, Josh Randit himself puts him down in that quarry at 4:30 p.m. where the pelvic bones are found. And that means he was down there at 4:30 p.m. in the quarry. Where was Scott? Whose land was he hunting on? All right, guys, I think that's a lot to chew on. I think my brain's fried. I don't know about you guys. Milbillie, did you want to add something?
No.
All right.
And when we're going over to the puddle room, I guess.
Yeah, BB's telling you if you want to come chat with us, feel free to do so. You can come into the puddle chat. She did put the link on there. You just got to scroll up, and you can either do voice chat or type. We can do both, just like we are here.
Actually talk back to us.
And then,
Rubberducky,
yes.
Rubberducky, can I just suggest that if people have any burning ideas for things that they want to know more about, or things that they know lots about, like Jeff's just said that he's happy to talk a bit more about the phone next week.
And I think Jeff is talking about coming onto the live for next week, possibly.
That would be fantastic if people
I will come off work.
Well, Milbillie, your work schedule is strong.
I'm delving into. Wouldn't that be great?
It would.
Share that with lots of people. And
I agree with you, Braun, 100%.
Please type in here or send Ducky a message or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or come on Discord.
Oh, absolutely. I know some people don't want to or can't, but generally you'll be able to contact one of us or type in the comments or something here.
Well, and you can always, there's two ways to always get.
If you have any questions for me on Discord, just direct message me.
Also, if you have any comments or questions, there's also the library. You can definitely hit up the tip box there, as well as, and you can go there by going to rubberduckystevenaveryfiles.com. And then my email address that I constantly have alerts on is rubberducky2005@yahoo.com. So that's pretty easy to remember. Rubberducky 2005 being that it's the Halbach case, Avery case. And with that, you guys, I think it's time to say our line because we're after 11. So we're going to call it good. All right. For those of you that know the line, here it is. If you didn't do the crime, you shouldn't do the time. Thank you, guys. That's right. I actually waved. I have no idea why. I'm stupid at moments.
I do that sometimes too.
I really waved like bye, like you guys can see me.
I do that too. I don't know why.
All right.
I caught myself doing that.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. With that, we're going to go ahead, stop broadcast, and we look forward to seeing you again doing the Daily Ma'am Reads all this week, and we'll continue until they're done. So stay with us, and every weekend you can play catch up because we don't air the Daily Ma'am on the weekend, but we do air it Monday through Friday. We're reading 10 pages at a time. May 1st is the big moment where we release the first of the entire series of the Mini Ma'am series, which takes the past, present, and hopefully what we hear in the future will be that the guys are home. So we'll be doing that movie. And then we also have some Dr. Silkman videos coming out. So you guys, I want to thank you all.
I had tears when you said they'll be coming out. I just pictured it and I had tears. I was like,
Aw. All right, guys. Love you so much. Bye for now.